not to be the case. So ILLUMINAR, clear and obvious favourites here in this best of 3. Let's see whether or not they can finish off the VIKINGS and move up to another playoff position. It's going to be the pistol round for our first map of Inferno. It was, of course, picked by the LYNGBY side. Let's see whether they can make some magic out of it. T-side start again for this Danish squad. The double flash and smoke for Twinks, the smoke molly for Bird from Sky, the defuse in on Snacks over on the CT cam with the smoke out, but no further utility in for ILLUMINAR.
And some early banana control coming out for the T side, but Innocent's looking for a little bit of information, looking to see if he can spot anything out, but only spotting a single player at B. They're actually going to rotate 4 players to back up this A bomb side and just leave Innocent. Maybe Vega can be on a quick rotate to the B bomb side, but this is a very heavy A setup coming out for the CTs.
Taps up from Innocent, will take first face, doing more damage to Rolls than he can do to him. That's Veggie. Yeah. USP taking face, tapping on through, trying to force them back out of position. USP also out towards the coffins area as the first kill comes in. Veggie takes down the opening frag. 5 on 4. ILLUMINAR are suppressed from the bomb site. LYNGBY Vikings, I should say, may well be able to get themselves in with a bomb plant. Indeed, they do, but there's going to be a 5 versus 3 situation as Cabby goes and Twinks next to fall. Up 3 picks for Veggie, looking for an ace potentially. He sees that bomb, going to get Snacks up to the site for a defusal now. The edge of the cross here, he'll face up one player coming in with the backstab. Is going to be seen out for Bird from Sky, distracted by the backline. The tap up, the damage being done to Innocent, and Rowland does end up falling. They've just got to body block this player now as the defuse be stuck from Snacks, and there's no way left for LYNGBY Vikings. Miles gets Bird, and Typos falls to Veggie for a 4K on the pistol, and a big pistol for ILLUMINAR.
Unfortunately there for LYNGBY Vikings, they had a deep coffin smoke, which actually allowed Veggie to just get on the edge of it. And you'll even look at those odds. This is LYNGBY Vikings map pick on Inferno. But if you do want to get involved on those odds, you can check out our great betting partners of LootBet underneath the Twitch channel. They're giving some great bonuses up to a €100 bonus on your deposit and 10 free CSGO spins only at our good partners at LootBet. LYNGBY Vikings, unfortunately, not able to convert the gun or the pistol round, but they do get a bomb plant, which is going to help invest into a force buy.
Yeah, Mac 10's out, which could well do some damage, but against the lack of against the head Kevlar of the ILLUMINAR side, and it's about an hour, it's abundance for the CTs. This is going to be a bit more difficult affair for the LYNGBY camp. So the Galil's in for Typos and Cabby. We've got, I think, Twinks over on an upgraded pistol here. 3 MP9s to respond from ILLUMINAR with the 2 rifles. So all in all, it's a slightly better buy for the CTs, but not by a massive margin. LYNGBY Vikings playing passive until they make their way into the A bomb site. Out to brackets control. Very passive and careful played here. Looking like it will actually be an A play though.
ILLUMINAR's actually used a fair bit of their utility so far in trying to at least force the T side back, but it was looking like a bit of an A play. They're now going to start to regroup up towards this top of banana position. HG doing just a little bit of a chunk of damage, but the execution about to come through, and ILLUMINAR, well, they've got 2 players here. They're going back to A. They're really running down this clock.
Not a lot of information being picked up by Innocent, though. He didn't hear those footsteps, neither did Veggie there. A lot of noise will be made towards his mid position, and now the face out with the utility coming forward. They must realize it must be an execution. SMG around support of Rowland, gets Bird from Sky. Spray Manic with the M4 does get traded back for 2 for 1, and Cabby and Rolls make it 2 for 2. Rowland on 13 HP. Can't take face out the apartment's door. 10 seconds left though, and the bomb plant will come in safe. They know that he's still there. Push up from his teammates will come out towards long. Rolls gets 1, Veggie gets another. Got to look back towards the pit position as Cabby gets Veggie, and it's all left to Rowland. 13 HP. He acted too slow and too carefully, and the Vikings will respond to ILLUMINAR.
Oh, that was getting really awkward. They really ran down the clock there, and well, they got some really nice entries. If they weren't able to get those entries, then that round could have just been over from the execution with how low the time was. But they get the 2 for 2, they force themselves in a 3-on-3, they get that bomb down, and they just swing on each other's contact. We saw the double wide swing coming out to face onto the apartments player. And will from ILLUMINAR, after winning a fantastic pistol round, have been forced back onto another force by going into round number 3. A great response coming out from the Danes.
Well, how a way to get started here on this map. We talked a little bit about how it being an awkward pick may allow ILLUMINAR a chance to 2-0 in this series and get single digits on the board, but LYNGBY Vikings Bring out the same magic that they found against Pact. They do find a response frags. 2-for-1 trade actually go in the way of ILLUMINAR. With getting that opening frag on the banana position, they can't recover the AKs, but they could still recover the round here. It's not impossible for ILLUMINAR.
It certainly isn't, and with Mao's actually getting aggressive, that's actually going to rotate a third player to B. With that re-smoke coming through, if that holds the T's for just 10 seconds, that's going to allow a triple man setup to be here at the B bomb side. LYNGBY Vikings are running into a stack.
Oh, Innocent with 2 Deagle kills, looking on for Type Boss next, and Snacks is the man that gets that frag. The crossfire is set though, the rifles are recovered, and ILLUMINAR, I don't know if they went for a full-blown force or a half-buy, but either way, those upgrade pistols will work wonders for the CT side.
Yeah, no, it was certainly a complete force because of the double eco nature, but the fact of how much damage they do, and it comes off the back of information, that was one thing that I was really worried about of LYNGBY Vikings on this T side, is when ILLUMINAR get aggressive and get information. Mouse pushed down second mid, and he was like, there's nothing here at A, let's stack B. They put 3 players up, it's a great defensive hold, and back and forward we go with these force buys.
And Snacks the nades up, Mal's going to regress. Banana control, mid control, second mid contested as Twinks does get 1 quick frag. Carry that towards Mexico, dealt with by Snacks next in. The Deagle running out of ammo, so the nade from Innocent can take him down. The majority of kills there on SMGs, so therefore there can be some money going the way of ILLUMINAR. And against the eco here of the T side, should see even more money and a bit more aggressive faces from Snacks and Veggie. Well, rather than go for 4-buy, I imagine he should do here. Yeah, M4 coming through with a little bit of utility. And 3-1 to the board. The eco has to come back from LYNGBY Vikings.
And this is a very different style of play that they experienced in that opening best of 1. Pact were very deep, they were very passive in the sides, where for ILLUMINAR, they just keep rushing. We're seeing a lot of aggression at the moment. Again, Veggie starting to get super aggressive down towards the bottom of mid. And with that MP9 backed up from Rowland to establish a bit of a crossfire, and even Snacks wants to try and get aggressive. So in your face, they've actually forced them back into T-spawn.
I mean, when you got this much suppression going on, you must imagine that ILLUMINAR are doing something better. 4 HP for Rails. That's going to continue bursting up. The flashbang and the nades coming in, potentially to get a big advantage above them. Seeing them come forward. Simple kills. Not quite getting Rails, but he'll go down in the end. The fact they lose the SMG isn't even that bad of a situation as well. Veggie's got money, Snacks has got money. The AWP immediately comes through. 4-1 to the CT board, and a technical pause will get called here before we hit round 6.
4-1 up for ILLUMINAR. Are you for reals? No.
What a shocker!
I was wondering, like, in the back of my mind when I was going to use that, and I just could not think of anything, so I was like, I'll just use it there, whatever. But for ILLUMINAR, right, you've got to think that they're playing with a lot of confidence. They're playing a really loose style, which certainly isn't something we see very often. And it's not that they're playing cocky or anything like that, but they really want to try and punish LYNGBY Vikings. And, you know, one thing we talk about a lot, Jay, is the mental game. If you think that ILLUMINAR can just keep pushing, you know, keep taking map control, keep putting these rounds up really quickly, then LYNGBY Vikings are going to, you know, like, crawl up into a ball and be like, please, no, stop battering us. You know, that's kind of the attitude that I'm seeing from ILLUMINAR at the moment.
I expected them to be in the driver's seat for this one. It was hoped to be a good, confident start there from the LYNGBY side, but off the back of that 1 round to respond to ILLUMINAR's pistol, there's not been much coming through from the Danes. Either way, the tech pause is over, so not too much time to a mellow on that fact. To go straight in, back to the gameplay, seeing if they can do something here on their rifles. The AWP out for Twinks, the AK's in, the Galil's still there for Bird from Sky, and the AWP Snacks with a challenge. Alongside the SMG still in play for Veggie, so bonus round for him. Nades up from Snacks alongside Innocent, putting some utility out, the flashes and incendiaries to return. Just to stall the T-side from gaining the banana control early here.
And not quite taking it just yet, but certainly denying any presence of LYNGBY Vikings, getting up aggressive towards that broken ball position. And you can see now, I'm starting to take a little bit of control as they slow it down. ILLUMINAR now backing off from the top banana position, not really too much of a contest at the moment. And you've got to think as soon as that smoke goes down, Innocent's going to be able to see Bird from Sky.
Snacks taking our roles to start things off. Innocent pops out of sandbags and deals with Bird from Sky, so Crossfire working pretty well. The AWP Twinks not landing on Innocent at 14 HP. He does back off, but that's still a two-man advantage, untradeable here with the LYNGBY Vikings. And Typos moving up, Rowland drops him, SMG swings from Veggie, gets another good kill, and they get Cabby next to just be even more fantastic for him. Cabby does find a trade against Rowland next up. They've seen where the bomb is, they know exactly where this last T-side player can go. They know what his options are, and with 30 seconds left, he hasn't got many.
He's probably just got to try and save, you'd have to think, but even that's going to be a bit of a difficult position considering that at least the short players are looking like they want to aggress. Has been able to pick up that AWP, so something they can bring to the following round. He's had these footsteps from Innocent. Doing damage.
Almost found an exit as well to that mid position, but damage is all he'll do. He'll grab the AWP and save it, which is much more valuable to them at this stage. Innocent's AWP will now get recovered. I don't think it will, actually. So, yeah, quite a bit of damage being done to ILLUMINAR. And although there is Innocent on 11k, you can see with the buy coming through, Snacks is still going to be pretty low despite being dropped the AWP. And, you know, about $6,000 maximum for Rylan. Everybody else around 3k or so. So that's a bit of economical damage, which may hurt them in the long term.
It certainly might, especially if LYNGBY Vikings keep trying to like chip at this economy, and even if they're losing rounds, but they're taking, you know, 2-3 players with them, you know, just trying to not stabilize and strengthen the economy from ILLUMINAR. And this time around, going into a bit more of a passive stance. We saw some early nades towards the bottom of Banana, but in fact, the A players go back to some passive holds. And I think ILLUMINAR, you know, they realize we don't want to keep playing aggressive every single round. We want to change the pace on the city side and make sure that we're not getting red.
Well, flash is over. And AWP does fall back here for Snacks. They're on the A-bomb site play and back out towards long since there's not really anyone covering it directly. They've got one player that is there on Speedway watching the arch position. And the apartment's pretty open here as well. I mean, in general, they're just waiting for LYNGBY Vikings to make their way on to the bomb site before they get the main defensive in. 55 seconds to the hit, and it's been very quiet and very careful and calculated from the T side, and once again.
And I suppose a problem with playing this kind of a style is that you're not actually able to really find any opening picks and turn it into a 4-on-4 or 3-on-3 when the execution comes through. So at least for the A-bomb side defensive, there's going to be 3 players here from ILLUMINAR. And getting to 40 seconds or 30 seconds on the clock, they'll know they can be able to rotate these players in. And ILLUMINAR, they've got to be able to hold a defensive.
Miles and Rowland here, the crossfire, AWP smoked out. So we'll get them to work with still. Miles and Rowland get themselves 2 good picks. Miles there to back up his man, looking for his 3k. He gets it, not quite the 4th against Bird from Sky, but the P250 can't do much from here. Rowland will drop him. And a brilliant crossfire set between him and Miles. A really, really well played round.
Oh my goodness, just the crossfire being set was just so well timed. The AKs just rip apart. And that's one big, I suppose, problem that LYNGBY Vikings are going to have to deal with is the AKs on the CT side. But problem, well, there's no problem for you with our good partners over at Hellcase. You can check out their links below the Twitch channel, MaltaV and MaltaV15. A couple of codes for you guys to use. Get a little extra bonus of a cash injection and a 15% refill bonus. Jay, I think LYNGBY Vikings are looking for some sort of bonus at the moment. Maybe a bomb plant in this round.
A very fast play coming in towards the A-bomb site this time, usually following up with these slow defaults on this T side, and they're just going to make their way into long, try and force Snacks out position. They could get overwhelmed here. Tinks down, Mal's got to try to support against Twinks and get Rouse next up. Snacks able to stay alive against Cabby, but they do open up the A-bomb site. They have lost the bomb though, so chances of getting this round maybe a bit more awkward from the T side. Typos faced Bird from Sky, last man standing in a 1-on-5. And this should be 7 to the board of ILLUMINAR. Maybe some exits could come through against the low HP players, but Innocent will take face against the man, and all 5 will stay alive for CT side.
And for LYNGBY Vikings, I'd like to see a little bit of pressure in terms of and turning up the pacing, whether it's just in the early rounds, whether it doesn't have to continue into a rush, but maybe just seeing if you can get up towards the top banana, get an opening kill, play the numbers game, because one thing that they did really well in that best of one against Pac just earlier on was finding opening kills on the T side, and they haven't been able to do that because a lot of the time they've just been so passive, and ILLUMINAR have not been giving up any unnecessary fights.
There's been such good efficiency in terms of the kill conversions and the round confidence here from ILLUMINAR. Do lose the opening fight this time, though. Straight down for an opening pick in the apartments. LYNGBY Vikings, Typos up there alongside Cabby to establish control of the inner houses, but unable to do much with it at this moment. The bomb hasn't committed. LYNGBY Vikings hoping for a second pick, and if they can find that, it's going to be a chance available. But a minute to the clock here, and ILLUMINAR not really aggressing. They're just going to play contact, take a pick back, and probably fall back to a defensive or a retake.
It all just comes down to mind games here. Where do the T side go? It looks like it is going to be a bit of an A play. And unfortunately, if they go A, they'll be running into the stack. It's just Snacks alone over at B with that AWP. And they're getting closer of the time running out, getting closer to that 40-second mark. We're seeing a long smoke coming out. This really needs to be an A commitment. They don't have the resources and they don't have the information to be able to fake A and wrap back to B.
Well, here they come, out of the gate. Bird from Sky, going to drop from the sky, out of the apartments and onto the A bomb site. Cabby gets one kill, Mouse can respond. That's the bomb dropped. Crossfire is still set. They will drop Mouse, but the AUG comes in, takes out one. Needs to get reels as well, but only goes so far as to do damage. No kills in a 1 versus 3 now for Snacks. He's best to save his weapon. He's giving it up. Blind shot through the smoke, doesn't do anything with it. So out of dodge, out of sight, out of mind, out to the second round for LYNGBY Kings.
Okay, look, there's some really nice entries coming up, and that's one thing that they've certainly been struggling with, Jay, you'd have to say, for most of the first half, is finding the entries on the execution. And trades coming out really nicely. They were able to establish that early 5-on-4 from Typos getting the opening pick. And from there, you know, it's 3-man stack over at that A bomb side. Snacks is on a long rotation from B. He realizes, right, it's not possible for me to come in. Maybe if it was a 1-on-1 or a 1-on-2, he might have gone for it. And LYNGBY Vikings, will they stop the streak of 6 rounds in a row?
Was close to not being the case, though. You know, if they had able to lock out those kills, for Miles and Veggie were able to stay alive for a few seconds longer, that could have been a very different story. Again, if that pit came on the bomb planter who extended so far as to go to the pit entrance, then that could have been a bomb dropped in pit and thereby a round for the ILLUMINAR side. So it could have been a very different story, and they've been back on the rebuy as well. So the Orbs back in for Snacks, the M4s across the CT board, a tactical pause for ILLUMINAR as well. So rebuy potential coming in, but ideally they'll have to shut down its momentum against LYNGBY Vikings.
And I'm sure when we casted ILLUMINAR last week, Jay, we saw quite a few times that they actually took tactical pauses even when they were in the lead, because they realized how important it is that after they've given a round up to LYNGBY Vikings to be able to convert out the rest. Don't let the Danes be able to convert 2-3 rounds in a row. Make it just one. Put the pressure back on. They've got so much money. Sometimes when we see the double orbs, I mean, Mouse, you got to remember, you know, he was a main orb playing on the Devils 1 Aristocracy RC lineup only last year. So certainly for ILLUMINAR, maybe we'll see it more on a map like Train, but keep an eye out if things don't start to continue going their way, that the double orbs can always come out for them.
Banana control coming out in full force for LYNGBY Vikings. Unfortunately, they will get the... Actually, fortunately, I should say, they should do get the first pick on Veggie. I thought that Veggie got it back, but never mind. 5-on-4 situation, and again, the aggression now starting to work out pretty well for this Danish side. They've got an M4 of Innocent set to the crossfire with Orpa Snacks left alone now. He gets overwhelmed. Smokes down, nades up, could do some significant damage to 2, but only minimal amounts, and with no kills going the way of the CTs, he's forced back to save. No say in the matter here. Not worth it to go for the retake. And a third to LYNGBY Vikings, so the confidence starting to show here.
And you can even see in terms of pacing how different that last round was, or this round that we're watching now, in comparison to what we've seen for most of the first half. It's been very slow, it's been very methodical, it's been running down the clock to a 30-40 second mark when the execution comes through. But this time around, they get some great entries up towards the top of Banana. A bird from Sky is able to get 2 great kills, and from there, they find the opening pick, they continue the pressure coming through, they have a bit more of an aggressive stance, and for Illuminar, they go, right, you know, straight away, let's pull in the towel. We're not going for this. We're just saving.
Oh, those nades almost taking some down, but no. Third to the board of LYNGBY. And Illuminar. Going to be on the rebuy, of course. The money's still pretty decent for them. Still got players on 7K. So again, force buy potential and reinvestment potential is there for Illuminar. It's a case of just maintaining control against LYNGBY Vikings and just turning one of those good buys into a good victory as well. Orb straight in for Twinks though, and Innocent's just not ready for it. They played passive on their defaults all map long so far, and now the T's are getting aggressive, and Illuminar just not ready for the change of pace, but Snacks is at least able to find a response.
And I think it's a really good change of page coming out from the Danes, but unfortunately they just can't hold on to the opening advantage. Rowland's able to get a pick over from that A bomb site, and Cabby does have a little bit of a lurk at the moment, but even with him getting smoked off, he can't find anything, and it's going to maybe force the play into the B bomb site. Illuminar, they've brought what was a great advantage for their opponents back in their favor now.
A minute to the clock. Rollins keeping his eyes on the back lines here. The M4 watching out from the apartments. Vayne's going to spray back and forth between him and one of the AKs. Cabby looks to enter into the pit position. No, he's going to check out short as Roland covered himself off just by the flooring. Now 2 left standing for LYNGBY Vikings. Bird from Sky and Rals. Plays up, flashes over, orb shot, not connecting. The M4 still there towards first box, and Bird from Sky will check out the CT spawn. Taps up from the orb, missing, but Beggy's there to back him up, so it's left to Rals. And Snacks eventually hits his confidence shot. 2K to his name. And 8 rounds to the board of Illuminar here. Looking good, if a little shaky at times against the Vikings. Again, the change of pace has not really been fully adjusted for, but if they can keep getting rounds like that, then the chances will get shut out for the Danes.
And you can certainly see the variations coming out from LYNGBY Vikings. They are trying to see if they can change up their style just a bit to see if they can catch a Illuminar off guard, at least in these last few rounds. I've been very impressed in the early round. It's really the mid round where they start to struggle, continue holding on to that advantages. And for Twinks, he was very aggressive towards Banana last round. This time around, it's towards mid.
Nades on doing a little bit of damage to Cabby. Typos is the main issue though for the Vikings. Loads of HP damage done to him early on. They still play their mid and second mid defaults here. It's very, again, going back to the passive and slow playstyle, which has had its successes, but, you know, considering how Illuminar were able to deal with that, change the pace, and now they can deal with this again as they realize they're not going to see a rush coming through, like, it's just not enough, I think, for LYNGBY.
Yeah, look, it really isn't. Illuminar they've kind of counteracted a lot of the time. Like the early stance of the half, we saw a lot of aggression. Now it's a lot of passiveness. They're giving a lot of map control away to the LYNGBY Vikings. 50 seconds on the clock. They've got a single lurk at B, but you've got to expect this has to be an A play. What is this? So they've got the bomb with like 2 teammates at B, but 3 are still here at A.
This is a terrible fake idea. If they can't draw the rotation away from these 2 CTs, which they may just do still, Snacks takes out 1. They're going to make their way back out into the open. It's Snacks. I don't know how he did that. 3 kills to his name. Twinks and Rals are the last 2 players left. The bomb plant to be secured here by LYNGBY Vikings, and it will be secured to a 3-on-2 situation. Rolls needs to find Innocent with the AK around the corner, gets that headshot, looks for Mouse next up, looking for his own 3K, and he gets it. It's left to Snacks to ace clutch this round here. He'll fire away, knows that Royals is so close towards him, but the no-scope doesn't land, and he gets out of dodge here. AK picked up instead, looking around this corner, but Rouse there with the Glock takes him down, and LYNGBY Vikings will just secure 4 on T side. I didn't like how that was going to go. The AWP cleaned up the mid control, but they were able to bait in the distraction, and ILLUMINAR just weren't ready for the aggressive T-face on Banana.
The only success that they really found out of that fake was that they baited the rotations out from B. Unfortunately, the A players didn't find anything. They didn't find any entries. Snacks completely locked that down. It did rotate the B defenders out of the side. And in the end, Rouse is able to put up a huge individual performance in the post plant. And LYNGBY Vikings, well, a big fake comes out and they're able to get their 4th round. But look at the aggression. Twinks is just so damn aggressive at the moment.
Now look for his opening kill against Snacks, who will bring his own orb to the fold to try and respond towards it. Typos kicks things off against Mouse, drops him for 1 frag. Is that a dodge? The Molotov coming in from Cabby, and Round still here towards Quad. It's Bird from Sky getting Vega to a 5 versus 3, pulling rotations away to the B bomb site. They realize that they've spread thin across the entire CT line. Still Snacks wants to push in, still wants to maintain control here, getting himself decent position picked up. 5-on-3 situation still favors the LYNGBY squad.
They're in a really great position. They've got a lot of map presence. They've been able to at least leave a lurker around the apartments position to make sure that no one is aggressing out through second mid or first mid. But Snacks, that's a great pick at B. He's going to smoke, but he's actually aggressing. He wants a little bit more, and he's going to be able to find it. 2 kills with the AWP.
3-on-3 standing left here. CTs of ILLUMINAR have literally just 1 man holding the B bomb site, but he's been capable so far. Snacks with the first 2 picks in this round, the only 2 picks for the CT side. Flash out keeps him blind, but Twinks can't respond to it. And now Snacks needs backup, going to take aggressive facing still at the midst of the smoke. And now gets back out of dodge, going to look for a sort of wall bang. I didn't even know you could hit through that wall. It won't connect either way. So 3-on-3 situation, ILLUMINAR set up for the retake.
And this is still very doable coming out from ILLUMINAR because they do have a bit of utility to work with, but the flash needs to be perfect, and Snacks needs to be able to find something with his AWP. It's going to be 2 players here, both Typos and Cabby, checking out the angle, and they're running out of time, so great kills coming through, and you've got to expect Rowland's now going to go for the save. They don't have a lot of money in the reserve. They don't have enough players to go for it, and in a 1-on-3, yeah, he's not even thinking about it. Maybe seeing if he can find some exit kills towards the end of the round. Not even possible. Okay, LYNGBY Vikings, it seems like a little bit of a late resurgence. They've found some confidence now, Jay, on the T side.
And that little crossfire there set up on the Coffin's position is so hard to deal with. The AWP rounds the corner especially, like you can't get those 2 shots in and get the, and most, you can get maybe 1 kill, but you'll be traded. There's almost a guarantee 1-for-1 there for the LYNGBY Vikings. And the timing was just all off there for the CT side with the AWP pick coming in from Banana. And now an eco to come through from ILLUMINAR. They have been worn down pretty heavily. The Molotovs and flashes over to this mid. And Banana control from Bird from Sky will come through. Only passive positions in the CTs. They're looking to get these upgrade pistols with headshots, and that's going to be their best bet here in this eco round.
And bringing it back, I'm certainly looking, I don't want to say comfortable, because they certainly aren't, but they're bringing this comeback through, and they're looking quite positive. I think that's kind of the way to put it. You know, they're playing with a lot of confidence at the moment. They've changed up their pacing, which is obviously working out fantastically for them. Yeah, they're still, you know, having these slow, methodical rounds, but it's nowhere near as slow as it was for the first sort of 5-6 rounds of the half. And they've realized that that playstyle that they may play against some of the other advanced teams isn't going to work against a team like ILLUMINAR. And it seems like they're learning from their mistakes mid-game, which is always something very difficult.
So far, the difficulty lies in the scoreline differential, and it's not even that many damp rounds separating ILLUMINAR and LYNGBY Vikings. 3 for the Danes to make up. The push coming in from ILLUMINAR, though. They've got 2 players set towards A, but a backstab coming in from Banana and up to top mid. Vegi's not going to see any T-side presence. Sees some utility thrown down towards long there. They should know what's going on. Still, they slow face. The Deagle out for Roland gets 1. Cabby gets a trade. Mouse still back here, and Vegi's going to get dealt with. Deagle in the backlines can't get his kills. He was the last man standing anyway. There's too much time on the clock. He would have been traded. 6 now to the board of LYNGBY Vikings, and going into round 15, it's a final buy for ILLUMINAR.
It certainly is. Let's see what they're able to bring to the table. Unfortunately, no AWP to come out for the City side. The monies would have been there for a glass cannon from Snacks, but instead he decides to go for the M4, get the armor and the utility through. Now, there's no kits up for the CT side, so potentially if there is a bomb plant, they will have to get a bit of a move on when we come to that scenario, if be. 8-6, this is a very close scoreline and could just be the deficit of one round, but that HG not doing as much damage as I thought it would.
I think it would land. I think it landed a bit too deep there, but a second HE from Vegi, if he hears footsteps, they're going to put this out immediately. And he is hearing stun, but they're backing off. The stage is going to go landing on the ceiling anyway, so it wouldn't have even taken them down if they were there at stack. They have baited in info though. There's two CTs out here because there can't be more than, you know, 2 nades on one player. The third man of Snacks is going to be the unknown entity for LYNGBY Vikings.
That third nade at least tells them that there's 3 players towards Banana, but they don't know if, you know, they've rotated players between the sites. And LYNGBY Vikings trying to work off the back of this information so far. Going back to that very slow and methodical style. 50 seconds on the clock, just starting to take control out towards brackets. And for ILLUMINAR, they seem like they're pretty convinced on this triple B setup. They are not looking to rotate a player back to A. And I tell you what, it might work out quite nicely because LYNGBY, they're backing off from brackets. They're going to hit B.
Indeed, they are. Awkward smoke down there from Snacks. I think he threw that and hit the wall by accident.
Another fake.
Re-smoke down from Innocent. He sees players jumping up. Doesn't only see the bomb though. M4 standing by for Vega, gets himself 1 pick. Bird from Sky gets a trade, so 4 on 4, and Snacks back here towards Cross. No smoke up for the Cross position, so Snacks can get 2-3 kills, not quite. Innocent steals one away, but it's been damage done on the Crossfire. Cabby left alone, knows where both of these CTs are at. Spray through from Snacks, gets a triple kill, gets 9 on the board for ILLUMINAR, and I don't know if they run out of utility towards the end there for LYNGBY Vikings, but no one smoked Cross, and that just left the position open for Snacks to exploit it.
Yeah, look, that certainly needs to make sure that that's one of the most vital smokes on the site. You got your coffins and your CT, and that CT smoke needed to go down. We saw a fake coming out from LYNGBY Vikings. We saw a few rounds actually in that half where they tried to fake executions, and it was over to the A bomb site. It baited out a couple of rotations, but the thing was, I believe it was Innocent that was able to jump from coffins, and as soon as he sees contact, he goes, right, it's not a fake. We're just going to stay here at B, establish a crossfire, and even for Snacks, does so much work in CT with just an easy sightline. But 6 rounds up for LYNGBY Vikings. You've got to think, Jay, that they're pretty happy with that first half performance.
See our live odds from our partners over at LootBet. Despite how close this map has been, they still favor the ILLUMINAR side going into their T-side second half. Of course, if you want to get involved in multivives, the best way to do so is place some bets over on LootBet. €100 bonus and 10 free CSGO spins available to you by clicking the banner under the Twitch channel and getting involved. Fast execute coming in from ILLUMINAR towards the A bomb site here on the pistol round. Innocent with that first kill. Typos finds 1 trade and Twinks takes out Rarlan as Mouse takes Typos to a 3-on-3 scenario now. Carry running out of ammo here towards the quad position, but Snacks is forced to back up with his utility. Refaces, gets the kill. And as the last player falls out towards the long position, it's all left to Bird from Sky. 1-on-3. May catch 2 players out here, but Vegi's got other plans. Kill to his name, 10 on the board, ILLUMINAR. What a confident start to the T side.
Ooh, that was looking pretty nice from ILLUMINAR. The fact that Snacks has even got the confidence to re-peek in through Boiler to that short position. A lot of the time, like most players would just opt against it, just, you know, hold on to the man advantage, don't need to take any unnecessary fights. But it seems like for ILLUMINAR, you know, they're fired up, they're fueled, you know, they want to try and get aggressive, they want to try and take those fights, and a great pistol round comes up. It was over so damn quickly. Ooh, nade stack a banana, but there's no one there.
Tried their best, but no cigar. No damage done in the early part of the rounds, and they won't know of any damage that they got nearly anyway, so best they can do is just hope that something happened against ILLUMINAR as the real hit comes through to the B bomb site fast once again from the T side line. Backstab could get set up, but they've left the player back there to try and deny as Cabby domes Roland. Starts things off well for the CTs.
And for ILLUMINAR, they're thinking, right, we've already lost a player towards long. Do we want to back off? Do we want to double pump? It looks like it's still going to be the commitment into the A bomb side. Now, with these Arch and Library smokes being down, it means that the rotators can't really assist the players in towards the side. So for reals, he just needs to wait behind this smoke and wait for his teammates to be able to just hold for 10, 15 seconds.
Veggie falling low, Molotov against Typos, still looking for a pick back on one of these guys. He falls down in the end, one player towards the dark position, Snacks, and Innocent deal with the rest of the A site. So 4-on-2, Mac 10's getting some damage, getting some kills, getting some money. And Bird from Sky and Rolls just don't really have much that they can do from here. They could take face in, they could take some picks, but they'll just be upgraded to AKs anyway. And the Vikings, there'll be no chance for a retake here. That much is certain. ILLUMINAR just ready to take 11 on that T side.
And for ILLUMINAR, getting closer and closer now to that 16 rounds that they'll need. Considering the fact that this was a force buy coming out from LYNGBY Vikings. Nade out into the pit position. We should at least be able... Oh, secondary nade. Oh, it's unfortunate. The nade actually doesn't go far enough. If it went further, then there may have been a potential of taking those players down. But considering the bomb was planted quite deep into the site rather than default, it's not going to be able to take anyone down. 11-6 up. And for LYNGBY Vikings, this has got to be a pretty harsh eco.
Not much that they can do with this next round. They could well do some damage, but certainly not a round victory coming in. Look at ILLUMINAR. Nades down to try and respond to the early nade stack coming through. Mac 10 spraying through. Bird from Sky does get Veggie, but Snacks will trade it, so there's that much going back. 4-on-4 situation. Deagle will just continue tapping, but not get any frags at this stage. They're going to have to probably fall back here and try to rethink their strategy. ILLUMINAR have been given a bit of a challenge so far in this one. Taps up from Morales will certainly keep them suppressed, as they just can't seem to find a second kill.
And they've seen a lot of information, and for that reason, they're actually going to bring that third player over to the B bomb site. And Rouse on the edge of the smoke does get very lucky with that Deagle, and is actually going to be able to take Snacks down to hold on to an advantage. And for ILLUMINAR, considering this light eco coming out from LYNGBY Vikings, they're struggling against it.
Well, two players spotted. Rolls will still get taken out. 3-on-3 situation. Still two more back here to the sandbags, and they're going to get spotted. Typos takes out one. His back still turned. Twinks, he's going to see them both. Tap against Malta, trying to stall the bomb plant. No, he doesn't get the shot. He doesn't get the kill. And it'll be 1 versus 2 for Cabby now. He's found a Mac 10. Is there anything you can salvage from his dead opponents? I don't think there is. He'll just take his Deagle out and try to pistol whip his way to victory. Looking around into the backlines over at Dark. He's got first box to deal with in Mouse, 29 HP. He could fall low, 100 for Cabby, but no Kevlar. Still the kill comes in. 1-on-1 now. Roland creeping in the backline, smokes off. The Deagle makes it work, and he's got time for this defuse as well. Cabby, the hero of the LYNGBY side, as they get 7 on CT side.
Oh my goodness, 4 HP. What an insane clutch coming out from Cabby. Oh my goodness, ILLUMINAR. It seemed like once they were able to get that 2-on-1 that should have been an easy round conversion. But no, LYNGBY Vikings, what a clutch to come out. That's probably one of the best rounds we've seen from them yet. A huge clutch to come out. The fact that he reads to look behind him at the right time. Oh, he was so low. One more bullet would have done the job. Man, what a round from LYNGBY Vikings. And that was an eco.
I mean, tragedy there for ILLUMINAR, but I don't think they're going to be too hung up on it. Rifles immediately coming back out as the first rifle v rifle round starts going the way of the CT side. The early HP advantage, no major damage being done. Now, opportunity still as Raoul's pushes up aggressive, trying to check for Mal's, going to hear these footsteps under there somewhere. They heard that tag, and they'll take him down to start things off. Innocent does not know that there's 2 CTs pushed up here. We heard the footsteps doing damage to both. Raoul's falling to 6, eventually burning to Veggie's Molotov, but Bird from the Sky gets away alive in a 4v4 scenario. The team is leaning into A now.
I'm really surprised he's still aggressive rather than just falling back and giving up that banana control because, well, at least for Innocent, he's holding this angle. He's waiting for a bit of an overextension. Oh, the jiggle peek coming out. That's great defensive. That is a great crossfire being set. And even though it's a 3-on-3, it gets the information up that ILLUMINAR aren't going to hit B. It's probably going to be an A play.
Yeah, with no banana presence this late into the round, it definitely indicates that. And now with the utility coming in, they'll realize what's going on. Molotov down from the CT side. No damage being heard. Vegi's going to move forward. Can be at the edge of the smoke here, top of the box. Snacks looks in. Going to try and find Typos here. Snacks drops down. AK kill. Vegi is going to get responded to by Typos, and Ralden left alone here to the apartments. Not looking in here. 19 seconds. He's got to move. I feel something's gone wrong, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's DC'd.
Oh,
the question is, are they going to check it? He'll be completely defenseless. Oh, that's upsetting for ILLUMINAR. That really is upsetting for ILLUMINAR. He drops, doesn't even get the AK into the next round. Oh, that is so upsetting for ILLUMINAR.
Well, don't think I've seen that before. I've certainly seen players DC, but not in a situation where it could potentially be a clutch attempt. A lot of the time you see players DCing at the beginning of the round, not during like that. Man, that's really unfortunate. And you've got to think that, how long was he DC'd for? Because maybe if he was, you know, a little bit more involved, then that round could have gone their way. A lot of what ifs. But the real answer is that that's an 8 for LYNGBY Vikings. They're only in a 3-round deficit at the moment, and there's no money up for ILLUMINAR. They're in a really awkward position now, because I don't know what happens. Does he hold on to the AK going into the following round? Or does he just start off... Like, I don't know what happens there. Guessing he just doesn't get any money, and then... I don't know. Well, he DC'd before the round ended, right? So he would have got money.
You'd imagine so.
Because, yeah, looking at 1950, I believe that he DC'd before the round timer went to 0.
All right, well, at least they get that much to work with, and they can start building the economy off the back of that. But obviously, this is a big setback for ILLUMINAR, having lost that round. You know, losing all their weapons as a result of it. It's most likely going to be an eco here, maybe a half buy because they've got second round loss bonus. So next round should be a buy up for realsies on the T side. LYNGBY Vikings should be able to get to 9, so they'll be back within touching distance of ILLUMINAR's lead here.
Now, no matter what the circumstances are, this is probably the best chance yet for LYNGBY Vikings to be able to establish a comeback. They know the fact that it's a 3-round deficit. They're playing with a little bit of confidence now on the CT side. They've won 2 rounds in a row. They know that there's no money on the back of ILLUMINAR, so it's only going to be a very light upgrades, if any. And this is their opportunity to start to close out the round difference. And Twinks in particular with this AWP, we saw how much aggression came out for the T side, at least looking for an early pick around this brackets position.
Well, P250s and the like set up for a couple of potential aggressive picks against the LYNGBY Vikings.
Ooh.
Can't establish the apartments control, unfortunately, but that works well enough for the LYNGBY side is yet to be seen. It's still control coming in from ILLUMINAR, a fast hit that could come through, potentially get a bomb plant. No utility to blind off the CTs here, so they can't sneak past them. They can't, you know, secure this in the midst of chaos. They have to isolate these kills and take them down piece by piece, and Twinks are just not having any of it. Snacks and Vegi quickly out to 2 good AWP shots. A 5 versus 3 wraparound from Speedway could come through, but the firepower advantage is still just well and truly there for LYNGBY.
A bird from Sky making sure to get the information if any is a B split coming through, and he's going to be able to call out to his teammate that's towards the top of Banana of Rails. ILLUMINAR haven't been able to do any damage yet. They'll be looking for a bomb plant, but this is going to be really difficult, especially with both the M4s looking towards his CT position.
In 20 seconds, they need to either get a bomb plant or go down because they need the money going into the next round. Burst through Innocent and Mouse tagged up, both players falling. Rowland going to try to sneak into the A-bomb site, and Typos is just going to shut him down. So There you go, LYNGBY Vikings back within 2 of ILLUMINAR. The buy-ups will come through. AKs in, Innocent, Stacks, Rallen, Mouse. Vegi could buy the AWP, pass that off to Stacks, which may be a good idea considering how good he was with it, but he's going to opt against that. Go for the full utility sets instead, which might also be a good idea because Mouse, Stacks, and Rallen are particularly limited on that front.
Yeah, certainly that bomb plant would have helped them get full utility sets across the board, but without that coming through in the last round, not a great amount to work with on a couple of the players. And no AWP to come out for the ILLUMINAR side, so it's just going to be AKs. And for LYNGBY Vikings, well, Twinks in particular in that last round was hitting some great shots towards that long position. Going to maintain the same position rather than going over towards that B bomb site. And they've already taken banana control pretty early into the round, so they can rotate a third player back to the A, even a fourth player if they want to. That's what they're doing.
Innocent moving in here to the brackets. Going for the long control. Typos backing off and getting to the A bomb site. Smokes down. Cabby. M4 close. A minute to the clock. Morale's just going to shoulder bait. Incendiary. Ready to receive as soon as he sees contact. Flashes down, smokes up, and that's going to force out the utility here. Force them back as well, stall for time, and there's very little of it left to the clock. Enough for the execute to come through here for ILLUMINAR, but the bomb's going to try and enter first. If Stacks goes falling, he must have been spotted now. Rolls peeking in from Library, he doesn't get anything done. Cabby does secure a kill towards Mini Pit, though. Peek into it, dig down to the second, look for the third, not quite the fourth, but the damage done still drops Vegi, and Rallen on 2 HP here, 30 seconds. There's no way. There is no way he's winning this round here. He's got to get headshots on both of them. And as he peeks to the smoke, Typos sees him first. And LYNGBY Vikings within 1 of ILLUMINAR now.
Man, okay, here we go. They're really starting to fire up. What a hold coming out from Cabby towards that mini pit position. He did so much work as the trades or the swings just kept trying to come out. 3 incredible kills to come through. Even Snacks just trying to wide swing and then being able to get the dink off to Rallen, taking him so low just to 2 HP. And they're going to take attack ILLUMINAR. They go, right, okay, maybe this first map isn't as easy as we thought it might be. They're up, what, 8-3 at one point? Things were looking really good, but now we're getting to a very close scoreline indeed. And it's going to be another round where it's going to be an eco. No money up for the ILLUMINAR side. I can't believe we're in this position.
Feels like ILLUMINAR have been rattled as well with the DC that happened a few rounds ago. I mean, sure, the comeback from LYNGBY started a few rounds prior to that, but even so, you take a look at the rifle victories that ILLUMINAR have had and how confident they've been. Contrast that to after that DC came through, and now we may have our suspect. But 11-10, dead set, even standing. Nades up, look at that. Utility damage done immediately, and that might be to suppress SMGs. There's none left on the LYNGBY Vikings side. Doesn't matter though, because they're going to start picking these players apart on the half-by rounds. ILLUMINAR looking to end this quickly, get to the rifles. Damage done as 1 player falls. The orb's there for the trade, so 4 alive for the CT side, 11 all now.
Okay, and we get into, I would say, a very difficult round for ILLUMINAR to be able to get back into the action. We've seen, what, 5 rounds in a row now going the way of LYNGBY Vikings. They're starting to build up a little bit of momentum. They're starting to play with a lot of confidence. And sometimes it's that inner belief that gets you across the line. And I'm certainly seeing it from LYNGBY Vikings, especially this utility down towards Banana. They've been able to do a lot of damage in these last few rounds and often get a player very aggressive to allow that rotation of 4 players at A. But for ILLUMINAR, they're actually going quite quickly into brackets. We've never seen pressure like this before.
The AK straight out from Mao is going to take out Typos, and ILLUMINAR going to go quick like LYNGBY Vikings did to change the pace. But the bomb gets dropped by Cabby. He's seen it as well. There's not an instance out here. The headshot will get returned. So 2-for-1 trades, and A site is under ILLUMINAR control. When this bomb plant comes in, LYNGBY Vikings do have a little bit of time to set up for the retake.
This is going to be a tough one. Are they even thinking about going for the save? Yeah, they're out of there. Not even when the bomb gets planted, they're already thinking about the save, not planning on going this. Yes, the money line is relatively strong from the CT side, but it's that retake is just too difficult. And ILLUMINAR, well, I mean, we've certainly seen change of pace from both of these sides on the T side. but that was very quick. And they've read the game that LYNGBY Vikings are quite slow and quite methodical on that B side of the map, trying to take banana control. Let's just try and hit A quickly. And they catch a Cabby completely off guard. A fast pressure going in works out fantastically. And, well, for ILLUMINAR, that's going to be them back in the lead.
Taking them quite a bit of time to get there, though, and their struggles have not been... I mean, they've not been easy, to say the least. Yeah. The LYNGBY Vikings certainly not expected to do this here against ILLUMINAR. On their map pick, can you be so surprised? The AK is coming in, the AWP with the M4s, of course, for the CT camp. ILLUMINAR need to do a little bit more to try and reset the economy of the CT side. They probably were going to need this next round, most importantly, follow-up one after that. But if they get reset now, then LYNGBY Vikings could get to victory row first.
Look at this double porch or quad setup coming out for the CT side. Maybe just trying to see if they can swing. Good nades up for the T side, doing a fair bit of damage onto Innocent and Snacks. Only a single player here at B, and the problem is, if there's an overextension from this AWP, that's just a rush into the B and an easy bomb site and an instant save.
A minute to the clock. ILLUMINAR have played this one relatively slowly, which is how things kind of fell apart for this T side. 45 seconds to the hit now. ILLUMINAR making their way slowly up. Cabby with the smoke down, ready to receive the Molotov. Potentially forced him out of position, and it does come through Incendiary to respond there, and that's not the right timing for this. The T's need to act quickly as soon as it clears. Flashbang catches Cabby blind. Is anyone going to check this? No, they're not. Small gap on that smoke. Going to see Veggie take him down. Typos gets two as Mouse also falls. Triple for Typos as the bomb drops. Typos is just done fantastic, leaving Snacks alone here on the library position there with the flank position, hoping to catch something off. But LYNGBY Vikings have overwhelmed ILLUMINAR. They're going to take 12.
There is 1 point of damage that has been done to that CT side. That was just a complete shutdown. The crossfires being set between the site and the pit position was just too strong. And Snacks, look, he's going to hold on to the AK. They are going to be able to get enough money to buy into the next round, but you've certainly got to think that for most of this game, the pressure was probably on the LYNGBY Vikings, whereas for these last few rounds, the pressure's now been put back on the Poles. They came into Malta Vibes last week being the grand champions, winning out in the grand final, and now struggling. Yes, it is their opponent's map pick, but struggling into a team that they probably shouldn't, Jay.
Yeah, this looked like such a confident start as well from ILLUMINAR. They were 7-1 up earlier on in the first half. And that's such a good half as well from ILLUMINAR. Now things are all falling to pieces here on the T side. Nades up, damage done to Mouse. 29 HP without taking a single aggressive face, and the CT's giving nothing back. No damage info, sure. Bird from Sky there with his spray transfer. Seeing two, taking one. Smoke out here to the sandbags. They know that he's there. Yeah, can't get provided cover, so he's probably going to end up going down. What? He gets a second kill against Snacks, and Rolls is there to back him up. He does lose his teammate, but I'd say 4 versus 2, a 3-for-1 trade going the hell away to the CT side.
Oh, and ILLUMINAR were just trying to trade the sandbags player and LYNGBY Vikings. I have no idea how that second kill comes out from Bird from Sky, and then Reels is just able to just chime into the action. ILLUMINAR have to try and commit to this B bomb site now, both playing in the smoke. And Rails, he's going to get a little bit of information, taking a bit of a spray onto Veggie, but they can play passive. They don't need to take fights. It's a 4-on-2. They can even allow the bomb plant to go through.
Veggie backing up Innocent. Bomb plant tapped once, taking face, going down. Rolls has done so much up for his 3K, and he gets it. LYNGBY Vikings are going to take a lead away from ILLUMINAR, and we said they weren't even going to get to double digits here, Dwag. We thought they were going to be out of this one in 2-0. They could be on to at least steal a map away from ILLUMINAR. Going to end their map win streak here, and I'm just surprised that this is the team that's going to be able to do it.
Yeah. Against Illuminar as well. You know, maybe if it was against like a Gamer Legion or a Pact in a best of 3, you can kind of go like, oh yeah, you know, understandable, you know, maybe. But against Illuminar, to be able to take a map away would be a tremendous feat. And they're getting closer and closer to that kind of a scoreline. 13-12, they've got the lead. The bye is very awkward for the Poles. They've got AKs out for 3 players, 2 MAC-10s though up for Snacks and Rowland. And you've got to think with those MAC-10s, you've got to get them in the face. You've got to get them aggressive. You've got to get them in close quarter scenarios. But for the most part, Illuminar, they have just been shut down on this T side. They won the pistol. They went 2-0 up after winning the anti-eco. Outside of that, they've only converted 1 more round on this second half.
They need a response. They need some sort of way back into this one, Illuminar. I'm not even sure if this is going to be that round. MAC-10s on Snacks and Rowland. So the utility coming out of smokes up. Snacks first man to 4. Rowland sees him coming through. Sees Rowland transfers his spray, but the MAC-10 does actually get a pick back. So 4-on-4 situation, and the SMGs have managed to isolate a bomb site. A plant will be secured, and a retake coming through. Veggie though, here pushed out to A. I didn't even notice he snuck in. The AK just got to slowly face up against the CT forces. They're going to quickly make their way up to retake positions though, so he might not have a chance to strike his main forces on the B site. Post plant need to hold on. Molotovs in the back lines. Mouse will get forced out. Innocent facing in. Gets the kill on Twinks. But now it's all left to the players coming in from construction. They're just going to wait back. I don't think Mouse is moving though. He does get a kill on Bird from Sky. And Ryan gets 1. Sprays back on his second. Plenty of money. AK recovered. And Illuminar just barely turn around their 13th.
Oh my goodness, that's close. That is really down to the wire, and it probably should have been a little bit more successful. They had a big backstab coming through from Veggie, but unfortunately they just weren't able to deny enough time to slow down the CTs to make that round like 4 players staying alive. It ends up coming down into all up to Rowland. 13-13, we're tied up. This could honestly go either way. It really could at this point.
Good shot from Twinks. Wants to turn it his way to start things off for the LYNGBY Vikings. The bomb being dropped as well. I don't know if he saw that. It's going to be minimal information, but they know roughly where they're going to play initially. They can connect some more dots, figure out that the majority of the T side is here. They might be able to realize that this will be an A play, and it looks like Illuminar have their hearts set on A. Brackets control coming in from Innocent. Twinks with the Orpal backup passive alongside Cabby here on the balcony. 1:10. Illuminar have left the banana control for LYNGBY Vikings to potentially set up a backstab. I mean, not come out too many times, but if it does, it could be devastating.
It certainly could be. We've seen these unbelievable holds in terms of crossfires being set at A, and even Bird from Sky. He gets aggressive down towards the top of Banana, and straight, or the bottom of Banana, I should say. He gets that information. He gets a 2-man advantage now, and you've got to think for Illuminar, like, how do you even bring this back? Maybe see if you can connect onto the top Banana player, but with the jiggle peeking coming out, Bird from Sky doesn't need to peek again.
Five on 3 situation. Smokes up from Ralls. A boost up from Bird from Sky as he looks on to position. 25 seconds to the clock. Snacks with the AWP spotted, as is Innocent. They see where that bomb is, but they can't crossfire. They can't deny the bomb plant, it seems. Smoke up to give Innocent a bit of cover, and he puts that down. Tough retake to fend off Illuminar. 2-man disadvantage. They do find that 1 kill though for Rowland. That's a big star. Snacks keeping his eyes on from construction. He didn't see the player that crossed in Rolls, but the second man could end up offering up his life. No, Rolls peeks in. Orb drops. Innocent and Rowland now. Innocent nailed out of position here. Sprays through and Cabby still gets 1 good pick. It's all up to Rowland, and Typos will drop him with a fantastic headshot. And LYNGBY Vikings defend the lead once again. Illuminar, the money is shaky. Do they opt for a force buy here?
You'd expect it, right? I mean, they don't have a lot of money, but you don't want to be playing for OT. You absolutely don't want to be playing for OT against LYNGBY Vikings, and that's why the buy's coming through. You want to be able to cancel this momentum on your opposition, see if you can get on the board. What a retake coming out. They slow it down. They've got the kits. They use the utility fantastically. And they take the lead once again. It's so back and forward, but LYNGBY Vikings, they've got so many advantages at the moment, especially going into around 28, even just looking at the buy, you know, very limited utility coming out from ILLUMINAR. No AWP on the back of Snacks. They're just going to go for a simple A execution. They're setting themselves up with just a single lurk at B for an A set piece.
Brackett's control quickly taken once again. Innocent is going to get forced out banana once again. Snack's going to be first casualty to Ruddles. And they just can't catch a break here on these opening duels. ILLUMINAR losing their first man with a minute to go to the clock. Mouse and Co will make their way out. Damage has been done, and Cabby's going to find himself another good kill. Roland on 4 HP. Veggie to take Typos down. Morale's there with the AK. He's just going to stand by and wait for him to round that corner. They've got contact in Twinks over on the banana position, waiting for the frags. Innocent does catch off one from long. 3-on-3 situation. It's still doable here for the T side, especially as Innocent keeps getting entry frags, making it a 3K. And suddenly that contact play is going to get dismantled. A side under T side control. 1-on-3 for the AWP.
Oh, that was straight fire. Oh my goodness, Innocent, those entries were insane. He was waiting for the AWP to round the corner from the library position, takes him down, swings onto the mini pit player, and then follows up again on the site. Oh my goodness. We needed an individual to step up for ILLUMINAR, and well, Innocent, he puts his hand up to go for the job. They bring back what was a 5-on-3 disadvantage. And that's one thing that you can expect from ILLUMINAR is that, yeah, look, they certainly have struggled on Inferno so far. It has been very down to the wire in comparison to what we've seen from them so far in the Malta vibes, both this week and last week. But individuals can just step up when needed, and Innocent was able to do that role perfectly.
We go the full 30-round distance on this one, Dweg. Something we was not expecting at the start of this map, but alas, here we are, LYNGBY Vikings. The AWP, the FAMASs, the M4s. Very broken by for this CT, like we've seen broken bys work out for these two teams so far in this matchup. Will it be enough to turn a victory against ILLUMINAR and get to map point first? And both economies are at stake here as well. They've invested in full to this next round. So you must imagine that the winner of this round will also win the map outright. The aggressive faces from the T side will not over-aggress though.
And they're taking banana control pretty much every single round now for the CT side, and it's forcing ILLUMINAR to make a lot of A plays. This time around, though, there's only actually 2 players in the side, and Cabby's gone down. It's all going to be onto Typos. He's got such a difficult job. The rotators can't really help him from the A bomb side. Oh, but they can out through long, and Reels is somehow able to get 2 kills, and he stays alive with 5 HP.
Still taking face out to the A-bomb site, and he burns to Roland's Molotov. He put that out earlier. It was just extinguishing. And Twinks will get Roland. They over on the A-bomb site. The rotation from the B site has left it completely open, though. And Innocent may start getting reads onto this. They can't put any smokes down to cross. They will Molotov out that B back corner, though. And the plant can be secured. 3-on-2 here for the favor of LYNGBY Vikings. They made this work before at 4-on-3. Now with a few less angles that they can cover off from Innocent and Snacks, can they do it again? It's out from Typos and Bird from Sky. Twin's going to make his way out with the AWP. They're going to hear all these footsteps. Will Innocent take face? Nade on position. Will, of course, bait out the first piece of utility. Around the corner to hunt for him. First tap, spray through. Snacks gets one. Bird from Sky trades him. It's all to Innocent now. All about to play from Mars is in. They're going to line up, but they get the kill first. And ILLUMINAR concede the map point to LYNGBY Vikings. The bomb plant does set themselves up for a force buy here. They are on for overtime.
Oh my goodness, what a retake coming out from LYNGBY Vikings, and they don't slow it down at all. They continue the chaos, they continue the aggression. Everyone comes up through banana, they flash their way in, they peek on each other's contact, and the duels come out fantastically. And even with that bomb plan going down from ILLUMINAR, it's going to force Veggie on a Mac 10 just because he doesn't have enough money to get that AK across, even that Galil for the matter. 15-14, round number 30. Here we go. And once again, it's this banana control that has come in time and time again from LYNGBY Vikings. ILLUMINAR aren't even putting pressure towards banana at the moment. They're just letting them take it every round.
ILLUMINAR, the pressure's on now. What should have been an easy series for them. And now it may still fall apart. A minute and 10 right now, the passive defaults are in play, much like how LYNGBY Vikings took their passive defaults over on T side, but they do come up good for it. A slow, small face into the banana position, getting Veggie down. The MAC-10 sacrifices himself to the A bomb site to stall the rotations now from LYNGBY Vikings as they make their way towards B. The bomb plant can be secured. Roland's got a big job out the apartments to pull CT defensives away, but the retake has got to come through.
And they're going to know. Rowland, he's going to be really far away from the bomb site, so he really needs to hold on to his teammates to hold off. The problem here, though, is with him around second mid, he can call off that there's no play coming up to a banana, and it's all in through CT.
Snax missing his first shot on the cross. Nades down to try and stall against Typos. It missed the doorway, so it doesn't do any damage. Snax gets Cabby for one. Sees Typos, drops him as well. 3 picks for the AWP. He's been so good, so consistent. And it will set up Miles and Innocent to take us to overtime here on our first map of the best of 3. What a thriller this one has turned out to be. Nobody expected it to go this far. But LYNGBY Kings still fighting for their map pick.
And I'll tell you what, this has been exciting. It's had its all. It's been back and forth between these two sides, and it's certainly been written off for being a one-sided affair for the ILLUMINAR. 15-15, we go to OT, and now it just comes down to the mind games. It comes down to who is stronger mentally. A Snax in that last round. I mean, what an opening pick to come up from that brokeable position as Bird from Sky is just jiggle peeking. Ends up getting 3 kills in the round. Top fragging at the moment for the Polish side. What a feat for the CT side, the Danes of LYNGBY Vikings, to even get into this position, into OT. Yeah, they didn't close it out 16-14, but they're proving that they can contend.
Well, well, well. Again, we writ this off so early, so how wrong we must be looking, and right now, LYNGBY Vikings are the point to prove, and you can tell that they don't want to go out in group stage this time. You know, they've had some very tragic maps over the course of their runs here in Malta Vibes. But this time around, their run has already improved dramatically. They're already going to go out in 3rd place at the very lowest. The question really for them remains in this map victory is that, will that be enough to swing the momentum into the second map? And is there a possible light at the end of the tunnel for this team?
I said that's the big thing, and it's something we spoke about in the pregame a lot, is that, yeah, look, maybe they can pull off a map, but you look at Train, you think, no, there's no way. Like, there is just, it's out of the picture. They've never won a map on Train. It's ILLUMINAR's best. It was one that carried with them for a lot of week 3 with some really dominant results. A 16-4 hard Legion on Train in the semi-finals and just looked so damn dominant on the T side. Not even for CT, like T was just looking insane. And then you go into Nuke and you think, right, you know, maybe they can put up some good rounds here or there. But again, it's a map that I just don't see it being a possibility. If it's any map in the series, it's got to be Inferno. And they're proving that they're at least trying to take it to the distance.
The distance is where we'll go. Overtime on the table for our first map of this best of 3. LYNGBY Vikings back against ILLUMINAR to try and potentially steal it away. MR3 16k, and we have seen our fair share of overtimes over the course of Malta Vibes. Let's see if this one is one of those classics or whether it will end in disappointment here for the Danes. It's the AKs out, the AWPs are standard for Snax, and the AWPs and the M4s. And we've seen 2 very distinct styles of play here from ILLUMINAR on their T-side defaults, with the aggressive force and the quick rushes out, or the slow passive sort of play style trying to bait in LYNGBY Vikings. On one hand, I can see where LYNGBY will stop trying to take aggressive faces and trying their best not to end up going down here. And you can see the aggression actually responded. They're going to force ILLUMINAR into passive.
Yeah, they've done this for, I would say, the last 10, 11 rounds of just taking CT control, taking banana control. They're actually rotating 4 players in. What is this strat coming out from LYNGBY Vikings? They only have a single A defender of Twinks.
And the walkout into the A bomb site is just going to get shut down by that one pick. The backstab also coming in from Bird from Sky. If he swings onto this player now, Innocent's got the bomb. He's dropped it. What could have looked fantastic for ILLUMINAR had they not hesitated on that AWP pick. We'll leave a 4-on-2 instead to the favor of the CT side. They have mid control. They have bomb control. They have A site defensive rotating in from B passive. AWP shot not connecting. Dink down to 12 HP. Snacks is basically out of the round from here. And I think ILLUMINAR are out of the round as well. 16 to go to the board of the CT side unless something massive comes out from Ron. He sees a shoulder bait, but Typos swings in, takes him down. He's had to Snacks over at Boiler. An amazing 1v4 if he can make it happen, but his first shot misses, and there's no chance from here.
Oh my goodness, that was probably one of the most uncharacteristic pushes I think I've ever seen on a CT side of Inferno. They take the banana control like they have been doing for so many rounds. They bring 4 players over to B and actually start pushing from bottom of banana to kind of connect onto the single A player of Twinks. That really caught ILLUMINAR off guard, and as soon as that bomb goes down in the open, that round's pretty much over. There's no real way that ILLUMINAR could have brought that back.
Disaster strike into that mid position, and the aggression from LYNGBY Vikings, like again, it's been so good to just set the default up, never to get a backstab in, never to so far as overextend to that mid position and shut down ILLUMINAR in the way they did in that last round, which shows development right now from this CT camp. And if they can keep that going here in overtime, ILLUMINAR are going to have a hard time over the course of the next 2 rounds or so. Here on the nades up, the incendiaries back and forth between both sides. That's a nice nade. That doesn't do quite as much damage as it looked like it would have done. The AK of Bird from Sky, though, will tag 29 down to Snacks, so AWP once again is very low.
And you've got to think, both teams have had really strong CT sides, so whoever comes up with 2 rounds on T can potentially take this overtime. Already a fair bit of damage done towards the banana position, but ILLUMINAR finally, it's been so long since they've actually taken this control away from the CT side.
Minute to go to the clock. The AWP Twinks is watching the edge of this smoke here, not moving despite the cross being locked. Snacks has no idea the flash has come through and the AWP shot goes out blind. Doesn't connect onto anyone here as Arals and Bird from Sky are left to defend here from New Box. Molotov to come through, might force him out of position, but Bird from Sky gets mounted. It goes to first box, not towards New Box. And first flag found, a nade up. Veggie does get the man down. They don't know that Rolls is still here, though. They aren't checking it. If this bomb plant comes in and it's going unchecked, this could be Rolls' chance to deny the bomb plant. Seeing Veggie instead, taps his way, takes down Innocent. No. 3-on-2. The trays still go back to the favor of LYNGBY Vikings, but ILLUMINAR have a post plant to work with. Snacks on 29 is the main issue, though. He's got to win this fight. Be quicker to the trigger. Finger against Twinks. Both players missed their shots, and he barely escapes at 3 HP. Left to deny the bomb defuse. Innocent out at tree. 2 players to line up from. He takes 1, does not take the second. Snacks left with it all to do. Smokes up on site. Nades coming forward. He misses his first shot. Gets it on the second. Has he done enough? Are they back on? Can we no! Same position, same angle, didn't move an inch, and Snacks on 3 HP will clutch it.
Oh my goodness, and Rowland, unfortunately out through long, he's not able to find anything from the lurk of trying to cut down the rotators. It puts Innocent and Snacks in a 2-on-3. I mean, this is luck. This is just, you know, knowing where the bomb's planted, trying the best to work out the position. And just 2 pickings coming through. What a clutch to come out from Snacks.
AWP out for Twinks, looking for Innocent, not getting that opening kill. The massive, massive round for ILLUMINAR to find, and if they can follow it up with a good default and follow-up round right here, then this is just going to be fantastic from the rest of the Ts. But it is once again back to his passive defaults and a 4-man stack with a contact play. This time from Bird from Sky. Twinks is going to hold on to the long control. They're expecting ILLUMINAR to play into the A site early once again.
And siphoning off that area of the map. Now actually going to rotate players to and from. They're actually going to put that AWP over to that B bomb site and keep the 4 riflers here at A. What a great opening coming out from Rowland. And that's going to help the play of the offensive into the A bomb site.
Nade stack and Molotov towards Pit, but mini Pit is going to be where Rolls is going to hold from. Veggie gets bird from Sky. Cabby gets himself one good pick back on the trade. They're going to draw their attention mainly towards the A bomb site. Out in the open, Mao's going to get himself 2 kills, and now A site is all that remains. Innocent going to get Twinks instead over on the banana position before they can even secure a bomb plant, and that's going to be good enough for Luminar. 17-16, a lead taken at the end of OT half.
Things are going to be difficult for the LYNGBY Vikings because, again, when you're in overtime, especially seeing the performances from both these teams, if you can get 2 rounds on T, then you put yourself in a really great position of closing out OT. Only 2 more rounds ILLUMINAR need to take this overtime. And we never saw in any regulation, any rounds on Inferno of double AWPs coming out, even so far in OT, and now Innocent and Snacks are going for it. Sometimes we see Mouse picking up the secondary AWP, but it actually seems like Innocent wants to bring it over to that B-bomb site.
Double AWPs out for, was this the first time in this map up, I think?
First
I don't
time,
remember seeing it
Never saw
all
it.
throughout regulation. This is going to be a bit of a change of pace from ILLUMINAR. Will it be enough to shut down LYNGBY Vikings? They've got one set out towards the B bomb site and passive, the other one set towards the short control. And LYNGBY Vikings got their heart set on B. They're going to go for the basic execution to start things off. Flashes over, smokes out AUG in the backline. Innocent gets himself 1 frag, but his backup falls so quickly, so he's left alone. Going to try and still stay alive for time. Molotov against him though. Going to burn and burn, but he will get himself 2 kills. So 3v3 retake to come out. ILLUMINAR going to consider this, but they're a little bit hesitant to the rotation.
It certainly took some time to rotate into, at least get into positions to try and retake the bomb site. They do have a little bit of utility. A couple of smokes and a Molotov to work with the wall banks. Trying to come in! Oh, that looks so close onto Cabby, but didn't quite connect. The follow-up shots from Snacks keep coming through, but they haven't been able to find anything with it.
We'll start round in this corner, look for the man so close. Molotov to the back of new box. Twinks peeks out the right-hand side. Burns alive with further damage being done. Snack swings in. Cabby looks for a trade frag. Got 2 more to find. Smoke up, both players up. Roland drops next to Miles to drop to Cabby's 3K. What a sequence from him, and what a hold from the lone man of the T side.
And wasn't it Cabby that clutched out that round in regulation where he was on 4 HP with the Deagle? It seems like, man, he's such a great clutcher for this side. A huge 1-on-3 coming through. And for ILLUMINAR, it was played relatively smartly. They got a smoke onto the bomb, they peeked together, but the spray down came through. A massive round coming out from LYNGBY Vikings, and that now ties up the scoreline.
What a loss for ILLUMINAR as well. Just down to some good place flashbangs and not enough B-site support. The concept was good on the defense, but it just wasn't there in execution. And LYNGBY Vikings going to do the exact same thing. Same setup with the same 2 players. They're a little bit more active here on the face up. The AWP of Innocent is known. Smoke down. He gets out of dodge. The nade up could do some damage to the player if he could time it well enough. But then he gets that first kill. Spray back on Typods for a 2K. Gets out the second boxes. And the AK from Bird from Sky will try to take his man down, but a 5 versus 3, and he's on 3 HP as well. Molotov's coming in, will force Veggie out to the open. Bird from Sky is able to drop him with that gap on the left-hand side of that smoke, and the Orb of Innocent just can't seem to find his kills here. Plant can be secured. ILLUMINAR at the man advantage for the first time here in this overtime for the retake.
And again, there is so many, util to work with. They've got the HGs, they've got the incendiaries, and Innocent has got the kills. It's all down to Twinks and Cabby once again to hold off in a very difficult post plant. We saw the 1v3 coming out in the last round. What can Cabby do again? Oh, he gets a couple of kills, and he's turning it back. What is going on with the T side? Snacks is now the last one left, and this was a 2-on-4 coming out for the T side, and they have made it work. Unbelievable scene at the B bomb site, and LYNGBY Vikings 2 rounds in a row have quickly executed to B, and both times did not look like they should have converted the rounds.
How did nobody get the trade on Cabby? 2 players facing him. I would have thought the second one would have got the frag, but no. 2 1v1s going the way of him, and then from there the whole round falls apart for ILLUMINAR. That was a 4-on-2. A 4-on-2 that just wipes off the face of the earth and wiping the slate clean going into round 36. With an overtime on the card for ILLUMINAR for the second time tonight. LYNGBY Vikings looking to end things off right here, right now if they can. The T is set up on the defaults, much more passive and spread out this time.
Man, LYNGBY Vikings, I don't know how they've done it. Those last 2 rounds were just things that you don't see very often, and moments in a team where it's not common. But it is what it is, and that's them taking the lead. One more round will secure this map, and they've slowed it right down. We've seen 2 rounds in the past that were very quick, very fast to the B bomb side. Now they're going back to what they did for most of regulation, slowing it right down, getting that map control out towards the A bomb side. This is going to be an apps pop.
Good shot from Snacks, finds one. Blind firing on the second roll and gets that kill on Cabby. He's got one player out in Typos looking for that fray, looking for some sort of trade. Rolls has found one on Mouse, and Snacks will catch his man Blind. Reface on towards Quad, so he's a 3-on-2. The bomb's been dropped, and Rallen is just waiting for them to push up to the bomb site. 30 seconds left. The CTs are here in full force. Molotov against Rallen will just force him to dissipate back through the smoke, and they're going to rotate back to the B bomb site. Again, it's been left undefended by ILLUMINAR, but Vegi is quick to the rotate here. The AUG standing by to rip them apart. The scope in will look for them, making their way up. Spray through, but Twing still gets the kill. How are they allowed to get away with these frags? Potentially a second. He backs off in the end. 2-on-2 for the retake here, but both their bases are covered. AK in, Innocent down. Raden, last man standing for ILLUMINAR. Are they really going to take control of this one? Yes, they are. 19-17, LYNGBY Vikings from the back foot back to OT and in with their map victory in our best of 3.
They go 3-0 on the CT side. And I'll tell you what, Jay, those were 3 rounds that all came down to clutches. And you've got to think that, like, man, they've got to be hyped after that. The fact that they run into B with that little time left on the clock, they have no utility, they don't have a smoke down for the CT cross, and they're still able to win out the fight, turn it into a 2-on-2, and win out that round. My goodness, did those guys show up in OT.
They absolutely did. One of the more insane matches so far of the day, and of course over a Malta vibes. Incredible stuff coming in there from LYNGBY Vikings. And again, we had them written off. We thought this would be a single-digit map to enable them to go into the second map with a victory and a 2-0 for ILLUMINAR. But well, how the times have changed in this one, Dwayne. Our second map, of course, is going to be Train. It's where things are going to get a bit more difficult for the Danes.
Yeah, look, it certainly is. I mean, you can be very happy about the victory in that first map, but you've got to think again for ILLUMINAR, it was their opponent's map pick. They were able to make it very close towards the end, but now we go into Train and potentially Nuke as that third map of the series. It's going to be a very difficult time for the LYNGBY Vikings, but they've shown us the presence. We've seen the best of 1 victory coming out over Pact, the opening map in the best of 3 series over ILLUMINAR. They're on a high at the moment, and they need to bring that into Train.
Indeed, they will, and find out whether they can do that after this short break. Do not go anywhere. Our second map of our best of 3 continues after this.
Nice shot. Lock and load. Let me show you how it is done. Yeah, no. Woo, damn! That was one of the best nickel fights I've been to.
Welcome back to Malta Vibes. Welcome back to our best of 3 series between I keep saying LYNGBY Kings, man. LYNGBY Vikings. LYNGBY Vikings and ILLUMINAR. If you just missed our first map of Inferno, you missed quite the storm. It went straight to overtime, almost double overtime, but in the end, it was the LYNGBY Vikings that came out on top. And what a shocker as well, man. We had this team pinned to go out last in the group. They won their best of 1. They've now won a map against ILLUMINAR, breaking what was, up to this point, a 9-map win streak in Malta Vibes for this team. Truly an impressive performance there. But the question now moving into train is, can they replicate that performance and turn a 2-0 victory to their favor, or even hold a confident stance against last week's champions?
Yeah, look, I certainly think this is where ILLUMINAR come into their own, right? You look at Train, it's their map pick. This is really where you should start to see the confidence coming through. But for LYNGBY Vikings, I mean, like you said, you know, they went undefeated last week. They came into the best of 1 against Gamer Legion, came into this winners bracket, into the winners best of 3. And I've got to be honest, out of all the teams, you know, whether it's playoffs, whether it's group stage, I did not think it would be LYNGBY Vikings to be able to take the first map away from this ILLUMINAR camp. And look, you know, they looked very impressive. They certainly played with a lot of confidence. They played with a lot of freedom. And they kind of forced ILLUMINAR to not play scared on the T side, but play very restricted. We saw, especially down towards Banana, they were taking a lot of map control on that CT side. They were forcing a lot of plays to come out from ILLUMINAR. And, I mean, you even look at Rouse putting up 30 kills in the end there. And, look, Snackset was able to put up a really good performance with the AWP, but it was really Rouse that was probably a standout for the Danish side.
Well, close second to me on that Danish side was Cabby, because the number of clutches he got, the number of multi-frag rounds he got, especially towards the end in that overtime, was massive, you know, and it certainly is going to prove to be very valuable to LYNGBY Vikings over the course of this one, because, you know, I think clutches may be necessary for this train map. Again, to reiterate how LYNGBY Vikings have done over on this map up, they have played it 6 times in the last 3 months. They have won 0. They have won no maps against any of the teams they've faced, from Nexus, of course, earlier on today, to Honoris, to Endpoint, all of them being simple defeats. A lot of them actually are double digits, which is fair play to them, but not exactly you know, a good sort of sign coming in against the likes of ILLUMINAR, who this map probably is going to be their strongest map in the pool, I'd say, you know?
Yeah, you certainly would say that. I think they're on like a 6 or 7 map win streak at the moment on Train. They look really great. They played it a fair bit in week 3 and were able to get some really great results, some really dominant results. And it's honestly the T side where statistically it's not, like, obviously CT side is stronger for them, but at least in the last week of the Malta Vibes, they started T side a lot on Train when it was their map pick, and damn, like, they put up some tremendous performances. So look, going into the knife round, I certainly think that this is going to be a hell of a lot more one-sided than that opening map of Inferno, but I hope that we get to continue the presence from the Danes.
We'll see whether we continue that presence indeed. So get to continue our shout-outs. Of course, Malta Vibes are brought to you by Gaming Malta, our home of gaming excellence. And also our updates as well. For those of you not tuning into the B stream, where the winner of the Pact versus Gamer Legion match will take on the loser of this and other side of best of 3 of the night. Right now it is Pact leading the charge on the second map, which is, funny enough, Train. They actually had Inferno and Train as their first 2 maps as well. I'm not sure what the third one is. But right now, Pact at 10-7 up, and I'm leaning by a map as well. So looking like a 2-0 could be on for the Polish side, and we'll see whether they can receive the ILLUMINAR side in the Polish derby down in that decider best of 3. But for now, we've got to get our predictions in for this one, Dwayne. I mean, I'm still sticking with ILLUMINAR to win the series, especially with this map coming through, as you mentioned. Should be a lot more one-sided. I think that, honestly, this is going to be their bread and butter.
Yeah, look, it just wouldn't happen. I really just don't think it's a possibility that LYNGBY Vikings are going to be able to take this series. Yeah, ILLUMINAR, they weren't looking fantastic. They weren't looking at the top of their game on that first map, but coming into Train and coming into Nuke, it is going to be a rough one. And this map hasn't even started, and it's 1.2 for the ILLUMINAR camp over at our good friends over at LootBet, our betting partner for the Malta Vibes. So you do want to get involved in those odds, you can check out their link below the Twitch channel. Get 10 free CSGO spins and up to a €100 deposit, or bonus on your deposit. Jay, LYNGBY Vikings, they need a good start, and they're starting up on CT.
I'm kind of surprised the odds are that far high up for LYNGBY Vikings, considering the performance on that last map. I understand why here on Train, but let's see whether they can pull some more upsets Let's see whether they can do some more impressive work. The pistols, as you say, out across the entire CT board. No utility, no kit. And it will be Cabby to open things up. Mouse down on the Lyngby Vikings start. Illuminar just playing out to the Brown Halls initially just to try and get some information out. Veggie saw Twinks as well dropping through the pop dog position as Rallen slow walks out. He's DC'd. The timing on that couldn't be worse. Veggie will try and recover it out to the pop dog position, a 4 versus 3 situation, but Illuminar have lost a crucial man advantage, a crucial player to their line. Trade's got to come through against Bird from Sky, and Innocent will get Cabby smacks on the face with a P250 out. Innocent last man standing. In a one-on-one though, he's traded it back, leaving it all to Ralls here in the back of the bomb site. Checking out left, checking out right, checking out the bomb site. Tap up, doing damage. Glock facing in, looking for his 4K, but Ralls drops him instead. And that is a pistol for the Lyngby Vikings. But that could be the most tragic way to win a pistol of all time.
Boys, can we like get him a new PC or like new internet router, like whatever it is, can we get it sorted out? Because man, we've seen 2 DCs now coming out from Rallen at the most crucial time. Oh, it's heartbreaking. It really is, because that comes down into a 1-on-1, and you think of the chain logic, you go, well, if he was still alive, then it could have been a 2-on-1. That's so unfortunate. And for Lyngby Vikings, well, that's the start they're looking for. And they're able to get that 5-on-3, and from there we saw some good trades coming back from Innocent in particular. But they're able to hold off a great 1-on-1 coming out in the end there. And they're forcing straight away. We've already seen the AK being brought down.
No bomb plant, but money's out. They can get some Kevlar as well in a helmet with the money line that they're being out right now. So Illuminar might go for this bolstered CIS buy where they get upgraded pistols around 1 player with an AK set. That has worked well for CIS teams, especially at the lower levels. Here for Illuminar, though, I'm not sure whether they can replicate the same sort of results. The T-side set will still see a force buy, those you mentioned. They are committing to it alongside Lyngby Vikings, of course, buying with the SMGs for Marcel and M4. Twinks yet to invest. Could go for... we could go for an M4, but I wouldn't suggest it at this stage with the current money line being where it is for him. But without any Kevlar would be a pretty bad call against Illuminar.
Yeah, certainly go for maybe a FAMAS or a MP9. Maybe even a Scout if he wants to go for a bit of a sniper rifle rather than the AWP. A little bit too early for that just yet. And it looks like all the problems on the end of Rowland is all sorted up because the pause is over and done with, and we're back in to round number 2. So again, it is just going to be working those pistols around the back of this AK. And you got to think for Veggie, he's got to use it well. He needs to make sure that he's utilizing this massive weapon that they've got to bring into round number 2.
Veggie take contact here for his team. Of course, the man entrusted with the AK-47 on Illuminar. He flashes over this pop dog position with the drop down coming in from P250. Looking for the man out here. He gets Bird from Sky. The Illuminar side now backing up out into the Brown Halls. A bit of aggression coming in from Lyngby Vikings continues out towards upper. Twingers could find quite a little bit, but Illuminar has slowed things down.
Rowland's in towards T-Com, but unfortunately playing anti-flash, and well, Cabby's able to make his way in. 4-on-4. They don't know that this AK is in play. Actually, there's a single bullet that's been used. They might know that there is a single AK. Where do they go from here? There's not a lot of utility coming out from Illuminar. They are putting some smokes towards back green out in this A bomb side. It looks like it's going to be the split in, but Veggie needs to find some impact with this AK out through Pop Dog.
35 seconds and Veggie gets another good kill. 4-on-3 situation for Illuminar as they have access to A, but a couple of awkward positions from Lyngby Vikings could throw things off here. Deagle's in, hoping to see something out here. Just damage being done to the Illuminar side as they try and set up for Lyngby Vikings. It's Twinks falling to Vegi there in the pop dog position, 2K to his name. SMG of Typos in the backline, grabbing the M4. Go try and use the firepower. Seeing one player E-box, seeing one player also at the default plant. Typos falls, leaving it all to Cabby. A 1-on-4 for the man. And ILLUMINAR looking like they're going to secure a round to respond.
And for any of the folks at home that are kind of wondering ways in trying to take that pop dog control, ILLUMINAR did a really great job of creating a lot of chaos and pulling away a lot of distractions. They had a first flashbang as a fake, they broke open the windows, the second flashbang come out, and Bird from Sky was just completely blind. And they're able to convert that round back. Vegi actually gets 3 kills with the AK, so doing a monstrous job with the only rifle that was in play. And it means that the Force is going to have to come back, and we've seen this quite a bit so far today of these Force buy rounds coming to and from. A swag 7 up from Bird from Sky.
I think we can do anything with the close range positions, and at this kind of pushed up pop dog area, you could find your way in with a couple of good kills with shotguns. The scout from Cabby that starts things off. He burns to the hands of Mouse, though. 4-on-4 situation. And Burns going to make his way down to pop. He could find Innocent here. Peeking out at the right time. He sees the man, but Innocent doesn't catch vision onto him. So he's got a line to work with and could be an unexpected element of this defensive. He's going to push real close to this entrance. This could be absolutely massive. Rounds the corner against Innocent. He sees him. That buckshot connects to the head and turns back looking for a bit more. But Rylan denies his double and now looks to execute to the A site.
And as soon as that Molotov comes out towards Pop Dog, there's no real way that the cities can kind of help each other. Twinks is with that scout out towards the back halls in towards Ivy. As soon as he gets taken down, yeah, Typos can't really do anything. Can't really push through the smoke. It'd be a very advantageous play. Oh, Rylan's so close to him. It all just comes down to timing.
40 seconds, Deagle out, Snacks. M4 drops. That's time stalled. Can he hold off against the next two? He's basically got to get these kills at this stage. Got to force forward damage done. Mouse takes him down. So damage, of course, being received by the T side, but the 3K for Mouse ensures that the LYNGBY Vikings will not be able to secure the round itself. They rely here on the eco to go to the rifles the next round.
2 in a row. And LYNGBY Vikings, unfortunately, they just weren't really able to find too much success. We saw the aggression coming around T-Con area with that Mag 7 out from a Bird from Sky, but unfortunately, they just really couldn't get the magic working. They weren't able to hold on to any kind of advantages. And this is the opportunity now for the Poles to really start to build up the bank. They've got a Mac 10 out for Snacks. He'll probably want the AWP in the following round. And well, that's a bit of a stack if I've ever seen one.
That's a new one, actually. I've never seen this one before.
They're looking the complete wrong direction, unfortunately, though.
Yeah. Mouse drops the first, sprays through Innocent. Mac 10 spraying from Snacks, gets himself a kill. But it's the AKs that clean house. Mouse getting 3 frags, and well, good effort there. I like the pistol stacks, but that one was a bit too open and a bit too weird for me. Either way, 3-1, LYNGBY Vikings. Double orb setup coming through immediately, but both of them are glass cannon here.
What? Well, I mean, we've seen some, I don't want to say questionable, but it's kind of unorthodox rounds coming out from LYNGBY Vikings, and it seems like they're now bringing that into the buys. 1 orb, I can understand glass cannon, but double orbs with no armor. This is a very strange buy indeed.
I wonder if they'll be able to do anything with it. I mean, Twink's already down to 15 HP. Rolls outside of E-box. M4's going to push forward at the edge of that smoke. He will push forward. The AWP back and forth here, doing damage. No kill for Snacks, unfortunately. Doesn't know that Rolls is there. The Molotov should force him back, though, and indeed gets out of dodge. Here's those footsteps, so Snacks knows that he's cleared out T-Con, but the main T-side force is heading back to the B-bomb site. It's going to be all on Typos here to defend. He's the only man faced in, damaged up. Going to cover back up as he falls away, puts an incendiary to stop the push.
I'm going to rotate that AWP over from Twinks, but the only problem here is he's so low, so just a single bullet's going to be able to take him down. And Snacks was doing a bit of lurking around T-Con, trying to force any aggression back into the bomb site. But ILLUMINAR are grouped up in numbers here at Brown Halls, and really you could just see the execution coming into the B bomb side. Re-smoke out towards that ramp play. Now, they're going to boost the AWP up from Stacks. Unfortunately, no one's playing towards the back of red.
30 seconds to the hit. Veggie and Innocent move forward. Utility out for the ILLUMINAR execution. Bird from Sky catches one good frag. For Mars in. Innocent drops Typos to a 4-on-4. Twinks standing, ready for Mouse. Good scope in, but Snacks trades it all the same. Twinks comes back on towards Mouse, and this double off setup is working particularly well here. They've gotten the 3 picks. Now the M4s need to step up for the retake. They're both without head Kevlar. That's fine against Innocent and Snacks. And time is a ticking as Innocent looks to take aggressive face. Overly aggressive for his HP numbers, but still gets Twinks back. Molotov, perfect positioning against the CT forces. They round that corner. It's all left to Snacks now. They tap the bomb. Reels is watching. Face up. Orb scope in. Shot to shut him down. Cabby recovers the kit. He's going to stick it. Snacks going to face forward. Force Cabby off the bomb once again. And gets his 3rd pick. 4 on the board for ILLUMINAR. Beautiful clutch again from their AWPer.
Oh my goodness, Snacks. That was just textbook. It was absolutely textbook. That was played so damn well. He jumps down, gets Cabby off the bomb, just to see if he can force him out into the open. Just the fake out. Pete going back in. Great shots coming out from Snacks. And ILLUMINAR, well, this is now 4 in a row from them. And, well, for LYNGBY Vikings, the round was looking pretty successful. They had the numbers to go for the retake, but unfortunately, they just really could not convert the players in. Nade Stack comes out for the T side towards mid-bomb, but look how much damage has been done to Innocent and Rallen.
Could be workable for the damage, but the CTs are still getting picked apart. The Molotovs, the AK sprays in, Veggie gets himself 3 kills all in all. And Bird from Sky left alone out towards the Abbey presence. It was an eco round coming in for LYNGBY Vikings, but still a bit of damage potential that just doesn't quite come to fruition against those 2 T side members. So they'll push into A, they'll get a bomb plant, they'll secure a 5th and ILLUMINAR on T side as well. I mean, we talked about this being a bit more of a one-sided affair, and right now it's looking that way.
You say that right, and if I take you back to the early stages of Inferno, they were up, what, 7-1 at one point? They got off to a great start, and then it started to slow down. So that's my main concern at the moment, is that, yeah, look, ILLUMINAR are looking really great. This should be a 5th round in a row from them. But when does the presence stop? When does, you know, a bit of a comeback come through? Unfortunately, the eco round not really being too successful at all. They do some damage, but don't take any players down. A double orb. So this time around, though, Jay, they've got some armor to back them up.
See if this is able to do the damage with the necessary protection here. LYNGBY Vikings, of course, had their orbs traded very quickly in that last double orb round. Without the head Kevlar, it of course means that the AKs will get the headshots in anyway. And get one against the aim punch, though. LYNGBY Vikings already did a lot of damage with this one, and it's going to be Twinks to open things up on Snack. So a good start to get the main AWPer down. Quickly Run will pick up that mantle, though, and try and make his way back out. He's got the bomb out with him there, so he has to stay alive to at least rotate it to the site.
They have to just really deal with Innocent, because at the moment he's playing in towards Sandwich and could potentially bring this back into a 4-on-4. And, well, there it is. AWP from Rallen trying to back him up. But for ILLUMINAR, they've given presence out to the A bomb site. Look how aggressive Reels is, but he gets traded. But you got to think Veggie's got to go down. Oh, he just smokes it off in time.
A 3-on-2 trade going the way of LYNGBY Vikings. 60 seconds to the clock. And Mounds with the bomb on his back. Orb scope in, denied by Bird from Sky. And Veggie left all alone now. He's got to save his AK, I think. Maybe potentially isolate a pick back on Typos with the M4. Incendiary is coming out. They know exactly where he is now, so this will be a 2nd on the board for the CT. Camping is still going to try his best to do something out here. Just try and throw utility and bait in someone to make a mistake. But there's no sensibility around this. And again, the clutch is just not really going to, you know, be likely, so... And the 2nd to LYNGBY Vikings. And again, there's a lot of money for the T side, so they can buy up. You know, they can still look for a decent buy in this one. Veggie just trying to take down the AWPer if he can get at least one of those weapons out, and indeed he does. 15 seconds to the hit. One player behind him though. Bird from Sky will take him down. I think they do... No, they don't lose the double orb setup. There was one also dropped in the T-con area. I didn't realize, but... So there you go. LYNGBY Vikings, double orb setup working well for them.
Yeah, certainly. It's good to see, and you've got to think that that's probably one of the biggest elements that they can bring to the table is the double up set up on the city side of train. And I'd maybe like to see a little bit more aggression coming up from Lyngby Vikings. We haven't really seen any pressure towards the B bomb site. A lot of the time it's been very passive, no real control being taken towards that Brown Hall's presence or looking for any kind of an opening kill when, well, for ILLUMINAR, they're just able to take Brown Hall's presence so easily. They even get a tag off the Type Boss, so that's not the best of starts for the CT side.
If ILLUMINAR can get that pick, then you must imagine they can spiral around out of control for Lyngby. See Veggie dropping down through the Pop Dog area. Raul's not checking out the entrance, keeping his eyes on from the E-box position. And Typos backed up there, controlling ramp from the upper area. The AWP of Twinks is going to be the main thing for Mouse to swing out against. Will he land that shot, though? Will he land that kill? It's very unlikely here with the AWP range game. For Mars peeking forward, seeing Mouse there, catching utility in his hands and taking him down. It's actually Twinks that gets the pick with the AWP. And rescoping in from Bird from Sky. There from connected with a second orb. But meanwhile, the T's are going to act out to the A bomb side. They've still got a large presence out here on the CT side, but a 2-on-2 engagement could end up turning things to their favor. They're slow facing, and Rowland is going to get a pick out from the connector area. Raul's waiting, Innocent drops him. Veggie down next,
Cabby.
a 3-on-3, but Cabby still towards Old Hell. They haven't read this. If he drops that bomb plant, and now he could find everything. Snack still sneaks in. He looks back to heaven. Innocent trades it back 2-on-2.
Oh, what a weird round coming out from ILLUMINAR. They show the B presence, but there's two lurkers out of the A bomb side to get that post plant in. And Innocent, he could be the man to shut this down. They line up for him and he gets 2 kills. ILLUMINAR are going to strike right back onto the board, not letting Lyngby Vikings convert another 6 rounds up on the T side. And they've reset the money line. That's one big problem with the double AWPs, Jay. Yeah, look, it works when it works, but it costs so much of an investment, and now they've got no money to work with.
That's the most concerning thing about losing a rifle in that sort of fashion. The ensuing economy situation, which will most likely end up in a 7th for ILLUMINAR. On the T side as well, this start is fantastic. It is their map pick, so you expect it to a certain extent, but Lyngby Vikings really needed this half to get themselves swung in for a 2-0 chance. Backed out with Deagles and Smokes, not even a nade stack to try to take out a player in T-Con or upper or ramp if they can place it right. Here they go. Veggie out from upper, seeing one. Typos dead out to the stack position. The second player falling over to the back of White. 5-on-3, making it 2. 9 points of damage done to the entire T-side line, so Lyngby Vikings getting away with nothing here in the Rico.
Yeah, the upgrades really not finding anything, and ILLUMINAR just the crossfires being set when they make their way out from the B bomb side. Even timing here. Ooh, Riley goes, hang on a minute, I'm going to go back up the ladder.
You can tell he was going quiet and slowly. He wanted to try and find a knife kill or something really cheeky or some sort of vision into the A-bomb site, but intelligently, smartly getting away to save his AK. So there you go, 7 to ILLUMINAR's board. AK picked up from Bird from Sky, though, so that's something they can use.
And, you know, there's no real reason that they needed to hunt. As soon as Rowland sees that he sees him, he goes, right, let's get out of here, because what are we really hunting for? It's not a rifle round, it's only an eco from them. They're able to pick up an AK and recover that into the next round, so there's at least something gained in terms of not being able to do too much damage. But our lovely partners over at Hellcase are offering some great codes for you guys to use at home. Malta V and Malta V15 to get a little bit of money in your pocket and a 15% refill bonus to maybe get some sick skins like we're seeing from the Butter Knife Fade. Oh, the Butter Knife Fade coming out from Innocent. A nice one, Jay. I would agree.
Better skins than we saw yesterday, I'll tell you that.
That is true. That is very true. Ma, we're thinking of you, mate.
A single orb this time for Twinks. Bird from Sky can't afford it. The AK coming through, though. It might be a bit of a pickup here. Bird from Sky, in fact, is the man to pick up the opening kill of the round here. Flashing his way out. Second flash? So you're going to try and see if we can isolate a pick on Veggie? No, he just like, yeah, I'm out of here. May have grabbed one of the AKs as well, ensuring that they can't fall into CT hands. Meanwhile, Cabby striking out from Ivy is dealt with by Snacks. Twinks gets Veggie, so it's a 4-on-2 situation. The Orpa Snacks should keep his eyes on against one of these players. Forced to fall back out because the bomb's still in T corner. 4 versus 2 situation. Instant needs a trade. He does find one on 2 rolls. But where do they go from here? Especially with the backstab from Bird from Sky. They are not expecting this. They get the kill anyway. 2 on 2.
I can't believe Innocent wins out that fight, and this actually now makes it very doable for the T side. And Typos is going to be the lone defender here at the B bomb side. Is calling for a bit of a rotation through because Twins can be on a great backstab, but Typos is actually going to get aggressive. But the A bomb side's open, Jay, and Twinks is in the back lines. This should be a free bomb plan for Snacks.
Comes up to the 1 versus 2 now for his 3K. And his post plant that could do wonders for the T side, again, to trying to destroy the economy of LYNGBY Vikings. Also keep their own economy on a decent basis here. The AWP coming in, backed up. Did Snacks see it? I don't think he did. I don't think he peeked out in time. Bit of a passive position, a sealed off angle from the actual bomb itself. Smoke down as well. They're going to try tap it, force him on the peak, spray through to catch the AWP, doing damage. Can't use the Molotov in this position. Not seeing Typos on the bomb train itself, and they will get that kit in to get the defuse. Just about in time here for LYNGBY Vikings. They get 3 of the CT board.
And that's what I was talking about. I'd like to see some aggression towards the Brown Halls, and that's exactly what they do. They have 2 players that are creating a lot of chaos. There's a lot of pressure, and it eliminates the map control being taken to Brown Halls. It finds them some opening picks. It finds them some control to work with in the mid-round. A great round coming out from the Danes, and well, for ILLUMINAR, they did get a bomb plant. The money's still strong. They're able to get a buy through. No AWP does come up for the T side, though. It's just going to be AKs. So many flashes out towards T-Con. The nade stack coming through. Unfortunately, not really doing any damage. Look how quick this is for the Ts.
Oh! 2 picks out from Cabby to try to deny it here. A 5-on-3 situation. LYNGBY Vikings suddenly in full control of this situation. Veggie around this corner. The nades up to do damage. The AK seeing Typos, so smoke coming forward. And Snacks trying to hold on to position. Cabby gets him. Innocent and Veggie suddenly last 2, and this is a much better defensive being thrown up by the Viking side, especially with Bird from Sky coming in from the back. And it's just like piece by piece, picking apart ILLUMINAR and what they tried to do.
And Cabby has just put up such a tremendous performance in round number 11, really shutting it down. 3 insane kills around E-Box. And even for Innocent, they're starting to get a little bit hungry. They want to be able to take them down. Does get 1 kill, but no more than that. A great shutdown coming up, and that may actually not allow a buy to come through from ILLUMINAR. You'd have to think this is going to be a half buy, maybe upgrade a couple of pistols here or there, get a bit of utility out, but they don't have enough money to buy.
I mean, a bit awkward on the economy basis. They could force a tactical from ILLUMINAR to decide if that's even worth it here. They might just look to just play this round, play the rest of this half a little bit easy because
yeah,
they currently have 4 rounds left in this half. LYNGBY Vikings, if they win an 8-7, that would already be a good stance for ILLUMINAR because obviously this map being CT-sided, and them expecting to do well on that CT side. So to get even this far so far in the T-side half is just, you know, fantastic. You know, this is already an amazing way in for the ILLUMINAR camp. And yeah, they will go for the half buy as a result of this. Tech 9s, Kevlar coming out. No SMGs, no major rifles. Maybe 1 SMG here, but not really too much of a round that should be held up by ILLUMINAR.
Certainly, you wouldn't think so. Maybe a bomb plant, see if they can get a couple of kills, limit the economy from the CT side. Even see if they can try and take out those AKs from both Reels and Cabby. Really don't want them up in the CT hands. A bit of pressure to at least come out towards the Brown Halls, and for the moment, Typos is alone. Does bring a little bit of a rotator coming out for the AWP of Twinks. And ILLUMINAR, this should just be a straight execution to be, get that bomb down, just waterfall out.
Yeah. Utility set here for an execution. A bomb plant will be fantastic for ILLUMINAR from this one. Incendiary set by Typos. They to hold on here with the Molotovs coming out. Typos with a smoke down onto the summit spot. 36 HP for him though. They have done their damage. Can they take him down? Can they isolate a kill? They're going to get quite aggressive for this, but Typos still lurking close against Snacks. Reads that position well. Takes him down with Twinks coming in with a kill in the back line. 5 on 3. Innocent with 1 cabbie, responding with 2. And they will decimate that round. It could have been so much better if they simplified that a little bit for ILLUMINAR. No bomb plant, only 1 kill. And now we go to the buy up here for the T side.
A great hold coming out from LYNGBY Vikings. And what happened there for ILLUMINAR is they tried to get that bomb plan in from Snacks and started to aggress out through connector to hopefully try and catch off any of the rotators from the A bomb side. But as soon as that bomb gets denied, LYNGBY Vikings kind of slow it down and don't rotate in as quickly, wait for the aggression to come out. And again, we're getting to a scoreline which is looking ever so close. Only a deficit of 2 rounds to come out for the Danes. And the aggression again towards Brown Halls. And they've taken complete control.
More damage done by the Molotov, and Mauser's going to be hurt by rolls, but he gets that kill on the man. 3 HP for the player up top of blue. Cabby gets 1 and 2, dropping that bomb again. So many multi-frag rounds from these guys. As Vegi gets that trade, Typos can return on the hell position. 3 on 2. Bomb has been picked up. Backstab still coming through from Bird from Sky. And right now, things are just looking better and better for the LYNGBY Vikings squad. 1 on 3 for Snacks. He finds his first. Now, there's a player coming in from the back. Go check Olaf. Get up top of blue. He's going to be seen on the shadow. Comes up the timing and position. Is anyone going to catch him?
What?
He gets Bird as well. 2 kills. Not quite the 3rd. Not to be in this one. 6 to the board of LYNGBY Vikings, and it looks like they might just equalize against ILLUMINAR.
Yeah, they certainly might. And for ILLUMINAR, I mean, look, if they get 7 or 8 rounds, they'll get 7 at least. They'll be pretty happy with that T side. I think LYNGBY Vikings, even though they haven't put up a massive amount of rounds, they can still be relatively happy. Certainly on the city side of train, on your opponent's map pick, you'd probably be looking at maybe, you know, 9, 10 rounds, but a 6 or 7 certainly doable. Into the half buy once again. LYNGBY Vikings getting a little bit of a momentum now and seeing if they can shut down, because it's the presence out to the A bomb site pretty quickly.
Bird from Sky can't get 2 kills actually. Innocent takes him down. Burning for Cabby, but it doesn't matter. He still stays alive. Him and Rolls susceptible to trades. This could be a chance for the T's, but as the AWP picks apart 1, suddenly Innocent and Mouse left with not much available in this. Innocent 2 points of health. Mac 10 in does take out Cabby. 1 HP for this man. He just surely can't take much more of a phase. It's better to get that Mac 10 to Mouse, see if he can get any more kills with the aggression. 60 seconds for ILLUMINAR. They're backing up and trying to find a new way to work in.
And even the aggression's coming out towards T-Con from Rouse, so this round's pretty much all but over from ILLUMINAR. Unless, hang on a minute, that's an insane Tech 9 kill coming through. They've got a couple of options here. They can try and wrap back through CT into the B bomb side. Mouse has picked up an M4. If he can take down the player of Twinks, this could open the round up, but Rouse, he's been seen.
I knew he was there. Twinks pushes forward. Innocent left on 1 HP. And although I've not seen a kill that clean before, I don't think Innocent can find much more out of this. The M4 is standing by. They just walks right past it. They are on the B bomb side defensive, so he could plant back stopper and secure a bomb plant from this, but 13 seconds. He's going to go for the AWP instead. To get a knife kill against him? No. Twinks is ready. Is Innocent bit too overzealous, recognizing that the time was running out. Couldn't get a bomb plant. Couldn't get much out of that one. In the end, it goes 7-all to turn out the half to one side by a single round.
And even that round, unfortunately, like, yeah, they got 3 kills, so you can say, oh, it was expensive, but we're going into the last round of the half, and there's still enough money to be able to get the double orbs in, the M4s, the utility, absolutely everything. ILLUMINAR, can they be the team to take the lead on their map pick going into the second half? That bullet looked ever so close from Snacks, but didn't quite connect.
Typos falling to 42 HP to start. A bit of heavy aggression though, and Bird from Sky can open up the kills for it. LYNGBY Vikings have been winning some seriously good rounds here on CT side. Starting to get a bit concerning if you are an ILLUMINAR fan, but at the very least it is the turn of the half. So they have that much of an advantage going into their favoured half in the second. Spread out so far for ILLUMINAR, still playing against their positions. Still playing for a pick to fall into their hands. Not much to force the issue, as in fact Vega gets taken out by Rolls on that peek through. 5-on-3 to the CT side.
And what's even more amazing is the fact that they were running a triple B setup, and it's the two A players that have been able to find some opening kills without any trades coming through. They can now start to rotate some players over. ILLUMINAR have to try and hit this A bomb side.
Flashes over, AK looks in, hits the E-box, hits nobody on the CT side, takes out one at least. The AK double innocent, and Snacks gets involved with the kills. Suddenly, this turns to man advantage to the T side. Mouse in the back line gets Typos, and ILLUMINAR come back from the brink of disaster in this round. 1 versus 3 for Twinks. Looking like they'll get themselves an 8th round. And yeah, Snacks with his 2K shuts it down to give ILLUMINAR the half. And
that's a good end. Certainly, many people might not think that that last round has too much of an importance because, oh, it's going to be an 8-7 half from either side, but it gives a little bit of life back to ILLUMINAR. It would have really sucked for them if they lost, 6 rounds in a row to go into the second half. At least that way, there's a bit of a positive standpoint going into the second half. They're going into their CT side. I can honestly not believe that the odds are still this one-sided, Jay. Like, they really don't believe in LYNGBY Vikings. Okay, it's changing a little bit now, but 5.6 up for the Danes. If you do want to get involved on those odds, you can check out LootBet. Fantastic betting partners. Their links are below the Twitch channel. It's still very surprising considering it's only an 8-7 half.
It's a weird one because, like, I'll come back to that in a minute, actually, because it's very quick out from LYNGBY Vikings, and Beggy's proving those odds to be right. Twinks last man does get a kill, but now he's the last man in an ace clutch here. It's just not going to happen. There's no way in this one. I'm going to make a point about how the odds are stacked up and set to, like, sort of like weigh in all the numbers, so like weigh in the win percentage, weigh in the rankings for LYNGBY Vikings, weigh on the map pools and such. Because, I have no insight on this, but I imagine that's how it works. That's how I'd want to run my betting site if I had one. And I just think that the odds overall are calculated from the sheer difference in the skill gap between these two teams, and it's just that large that it's not quite going in the way of LYNGBY Vikings until they're on like match point. And in this case, the odds are proven right. Confident, not quite a clean, but certainly a good pistol round from ILLUMINAR to get started on CT side. A tech pause being called in this one, Blake.
It's Rowland again. He's got some sort of issue. And I'm not sure if I'm reading this right. Does he actually only have 2 kills, or was that maybe because he like DC'd a couple of times? I'm actually not sure about that. Maybe he might only have 2 kills at the moment.
I mean, it's not a HUD bug. I mean, HLTV says the same thing. I just have to verify on their thing.
Right, okay.
Is that part of the reason why LYNGBY Vikings were able to do so much at the end of that half? Like,
just didn't see that at all, that Rowland was underperforming. But, like, to say the least, like, after what was just such a convincing pistol, you've got to think this is where all the momentum goes the way of ILLUMINAR. I honestly don't think that LYNGBY Vikings are going to get 1 or 2 rounds on T. I could just see this being such a whitewash now.
Let's see if they can do anything here with their eco. Very fast play out. Mouse could get overwhelmed. He's the only player defending. Snacks there with control. Quick rotations do manage to maintain presence in position. 5-on-2, making it 1. Last man is Bird from Sky, and they've secured all that they needed from this round. They got the bomb plant. They can just fall out. Bird doesn't need to concede any more stats. Not going to let Roland get his 3rd kill, it seems, but 10 to the board of the ILLUMINAR side. And LYNGBY should have a buy here, a pretty confident buy as well.
I have no idea why he's running away from that. Like, I guess it's a 1v5, but at least you had an opportunity of taking at least one player down, and he just escapes with a Glock. But I suppose maybe he thought there might have been like an MP9 out, and he didn't want to give up that $600 kill bonus. And ILLUMINAR, they are up 10 rounds. They've got to double digits. Now, we've seen the AWPs being quite successful in the first half for LYNGBY Vikings. Now it's going to be Twinks on the T side.
Straight up aggression, seeing the first man out there, but unable to take him down. Very slow reactions. Typos aggressive. Oh, he's going to get 2. Didn't even see him make his way out towards Sandwich, and neither did ILLUMINAR get a beat onto it. 5 on 3 already gained by the T-side line. A minute and 20. We'll go back slow and carefully, trying to read out the rest of the CT setup, counter it, take control, and probably take the round.
What an advantage. The Typos has done so much work around that sandwich position, and for ILLUMINAR, they just need to play together. They need to gamble this A bomb side. Innocence even, you know, oh, they're actually going to gamble B. They're going to rotate 2 players over. Rallen's now getting a bit of information through Ivy, but look how slow the Danes have taken this. They've got 2 great opening kills, and this is exactly what we saw from them on Inferno in the first map of this series, and even in the best of 1, is that once they find opening picks, they just slow it right down.
That's what they'll do right here. Very carefully pressing, although Rallen's found his way on the backside, but they're going to read this. They are. They'll take him down. They'll know now that there's going to be no B play. It's going to be all on A. 25 seconds. The bomb's just got to get planted here for LYNGBY Vikings. Innocent going to make his way out from Pop Dog, potentially do some sort of damage from this one. The bomb makes its way up to site, though, implanted. Should see an 8th coming in for LYNGBY Vikings. So, you know, you talked a little bit about the slow defaults from the T side. That was a case in point right there, with a bit of aggression mixed in to get themselves the early man advantage. And there we have it, an 8th going on the T-side board. You predicted 1 or 2 rounds here in this half for this Danish side. And there's the first one. The question is, will the second one follow suit?
Yeah, look, it's certainly a very good round, and off the back of Typos, I love the way that he's able to, you know, position himself. He catches off both players lurking around that Pop Dog position, and from there, they slow it right down. They're waiting for the aggression. They catch off Rallen, slow walking out from Ivy, and that's convincing. That's a very strong round coming out from the Danish camp. And you've got to think that that was a bit of a bonus round, so they'll be able to buy straight back into it. They won't, well, stack some glass cannon. I don't think he will, considering that not too often you see him glass cannoning with the AWP, but the option's still there. And you've got to get Rallen involved. I mean, last week, Rallen, for me, was like the MVP of this team. Like, he was able to put up monster performances in through the group stage and the playoffs, and we're really not seeing it here on Train from him.
It has been a difficult little affair for them. Single up out for ILLUMINAR in this next round. Of course, no Kevlar for snacks. The money has been limited for the Poles. Flashbangs over, bird from the sky up on top of green. Again, they've aggressed out the sandwich so far and so carefully as well that ILLUMINAR have not got a beat on this. To let you know, by the way, for those of you who are interested in the Pact Gamer Legion match, that one has just gone to map 3.
Ooh.
Yeah, Train being won out by, I believe, Gamer Legion in this one after they were behind by a number of rounds. And now ILLUMINAR are going to be behind by a man here. AWP is Snack so wants to take this player out. The Molotov's coming in against him, though, and Bird from Sky has just done such a great job of taking control of this, but the AWP does take him down, with Vegi following suit on Cabby and Rallen getting rolls to a 4-on-2.
And that was a great start coming out from the T side, but unfortunately the trades have come back and forward, and they're not really in favor of the T side, especially with how low both Typos and Twinks is, and it's all down to the AWP. But a 1 and 3 from him, and this probably has to be a save call, right? You've got to think, okay, this is going to be heard, and Mouse is ready for it, hearing the footsteps, aggressing up towards the brown halls. An 11th round up for ILLUMINAR. Now, even with a bomb plant, you know, with or without, they're still going to be able to get the rebuy investment through.
Double orbs this time coming through for ILLUMINAR, seeing if they can put their heart on the same way that LYNGBY Vikings did. Remember, it was when those double orbs came out with the Kevlar that LYNGBY did so much on that CT side to come back against what was at that point a one-sided scoreline for ILLUMINAR. Incendiary's down. Cabby going to move up with the AK out to the sandwich position once again. Innocent ready for this? Yes, he is. He still goes down, though, so LYNGBY Vikings making unlikely halves work out to their favor. 4-on-4 situation, and the trade will be found by Rallen.
And they've got a very unique playstyle, LYNGBY Vikings. It's like they get aggressive in the early rounds and then slow it right down. You normally, on the T-side of Train, you've got 2 styles. You either play really passive, really slow, and methodical and try and bait out rotations, or you're a very aggressive team. And LYNGBY Vikings are like a bit of both. a bit of a hybrid team, to say the least, on the T side. Now, they're actually rotating a lot of CTs in, but they've got a lurk on the T side of rounds over towards Ivy. These entries are so damn sharp at B. This has to be an instant save.
It's got to be. You know, 4 versus 2, the AWP and the M4. Limited utility,
yes.
They've got a kit, and they're going to walk right into the hands of Rolls. Against Vegi, takes him down, got the AWP around this corner. Rolls got him suppressed into the corner at this stage. He will get his 2K, but now has to hold on for actually a 3rd pick on Typos. A bit overly aggressive for my liking, but he's getting damage on LYNGBY Vikings, and with the economy being where it is, that's going to prove positive for ILLUMINAR. Holding on to the AWP, though, the main issue for the CT side is that their buy is going to look very, very broken going into the next round. But again, LYNGBY Vikings coming back into a 9-11 within 2 of the lead. Exactly how it went down over on Inferno, by the way.
Yeah.
Do you want to get more similarities, by the way, for today, Dwayne?
Go on then.
You know how we had Inferno and Train as the first 2 maps of our match, and Inferno with Train were the first 2 maps of Pack vs. the Game of Legion.
Yeah,
Well,
is
Nuke is our third map. Yeah, Nuke is last.
That's great. Oh, that's absolutely fantastic.
I wish I'd seen that earlier because that was quite entertaining.
That's. I mean, it's a bit of weirdness going on today. The fact that LYNGBY Vikings have taken the first map of the series and making this second map so competitive, I'm seriously worried for ILLUMINAR. Now, you know, we've gone off the back of, you know, this is a David versus Goliath battle. Like, there's no way even the first map should have gone their way before it started. When they won every single map in week 3 of Malta Vibes, only 3 out of those 9 maps went to double digits. Already, we're seeing a map loss in a best of 3 and almost potentially LYNGBY Vikings getting to double digits. It's incredible. They're forcing.
Indeed,
Rough
they
buy.
are. And this could well be another round that LYNGBY Vikings could just run away with. If they can destroy ILLUMINAR now, then they're going to be able to get themselves a great economy basis against them. Snax kicks things off for the CTs at least, but the AWP Twins can fall back under immense pressure from the sheer speed coming in from ILLUMINAR. A 4-on-4 situation. The AWP refacing with his knife out though, and Rolls takes him down. Bomber makes his way out to the site. Innocent spots it. Still facing the Molotovs come out, and they can secure B.
And Stax is just inspecting the knife, and well, he just gets completely run out from a ramp from the T side and just completely caught off guard. Okay. I just can't believe what I'm witnessing. I cannot believe that LYNGBY Vikings are bringing this close. It is what could be their biggest, even if they lose this, you could say that this is probably the best performance from this organization to date.
Well, 10 to LYNGBY. And we were kind of laughing off the idea of a close map or an upset for the Vikings.
Certainly.
But right now, this is looking very doable. This is looking kind of likely, I want to say, from LYNGBY Vikings. They've got the momentum, they've got the economy swing. They got everything. They've got everything right now compared to ILLUMINAR. The only thing they don't have is a CT side, which ILLUMINAR aren't even making that great use of. They've had their first few rounds in this half, and since then it has been all the Danes.
They've got a lot coming. They certainly do. LYNGBY Vikings starting to really step up. Get a good round here. Round 22, it's not the best of buys coming out from ILLUMINAR. That's not the best start. Innocent and Rowland find kills.
5-on-3, AUG of Rowan still looking up for Typos. Typos makes his way out. Vega gets one. Typos doubles up and now looks for his 3rd pick against the SMG and Mouse. 3 HP for him. He needs backup from Rolls next up. The Molotov actually burns Mouse to 2-on-2 now. Roland still top of ticket booth. He's still going to play Overwatch, and Snax makes his way downstairs from the pop dog position or not. Goes for a full wraparound backstab from T-Con instead.
We've seen the Danes slow it down, and in a 2-on-2 like this, they know where Rowland was. Do they still expect the position? No one's checking the back lines of where Snax is coming in with this USP, and it all comes onto this swing. It needs to be an open kill. And for Rowland, is he going to get checked here? I don't think he is.
Oh, the incendiary onto the man, he burns. But there goes Riles right around the corner. Snacks gets the backstab just in time and secures the round for Illuminar. That was an eco victory for the CTs as LYNGBY Vikings tried to go quick. This time they got shut down, and this time the Poles come out on top.
Oh, what a round to win. And that's heartbreaking. It is absolutely heartbreaking for the Danes. You should never be losing to a round like that. And it all started off with a couple of opening picks coming through. We saw Innocence Deagle, a Rowland with the Org, and well, from there, the backstab coming in from Snacks could not have been played any better. The timing was perfect. But they've got to think, right, that just happened. Don't worry about it. We're focusing on the gun rounds. That's where we're finding a lot of success at the moment. But they now need to deal with the double orb presence, Rowland and Snacks, on those big green guns.
AWP out for Twinks, looking straight in against the AWP of the CT camp. The nades coming through against him, and Illuminar have found their groove again. Is this where the momentum swings back to their favor? They got the double AWPs out, so certainly could either do just that or just knock them back on their feet. Early damage done, no kills going either side. The establishing map control from LYNGBY Vikings is much more passive by comparison to previous rounds. They do have Pop Dog, they do have Ivy and T-Con with an aggressive T-Con face, but no picks and no real over-aggressive faces coming through.
They don't have any map control towards Brown Hall, so there's not really a way that they can kind of fake A and end up hitting that B bombs. Like, this has to be an A commitment, and just off the back of information alone. The smoke's coming down, they need to find some entries.
Minute left, nades on, Mac 10 making its way out. M4 burst through from Veggie, takes out Rolls, or pick from Roland, gets Cabby next up. Burr from Sky is aggressive and takes out one. Sprays through an Innocent. Forced to reload now. The Mac 10 against the flashbang now. The M4 out positioned towards Hell, looking away the wrong position at the wrong time. And Innocent does fall 3-on-3 for LYNGBY now. Mouse looking around the corner, spotted out by Twinks, takes him down. 2 left standing. And Snacks keeps his eyes on as he makes his way out from Connector, spotting one player top of the red train, edge of the smokes. The flashes go out and Roland keeps his eyes on. Snacks trying to get out of dodge. They can't make their way to the bomb plot position. The kit is on Roland as well, who's suppressed even further away. And they're going to back away as well. Illuminar will lose their 13th. LYNGBY Vikings will get to 11, and that might reset the economy here.
Oh my goodness. You look at the round where they've got 2 AWPs, they're not able to convert. It actually might be a force buy, because I'm looking at the money and I'm thinking, right, they're going to get $1,900 in the next round. Rowland can drop an M4. It's so awkward. There it is. It's a force. They have to. Now, if the Danes win this, they could honestly be in the lead. Because you've got to think, if Illuminar lose this round going into round 24, they're going to go up 12-12, and it's going to be an eco off the back of the loss.
AWPs in again from Twinks, taking the early nade to the face. Not going to get a kill out for his trouble, instead it's Mal's. And Snacks going to open things up here on Typos. A quick play out to the B bomb site. Snacks getting Cabby as well. Vega to the backline is getting Twinks. Mal's burning Bird from Sky. And suddenly this round just falls apart for LYNGBY Vikings so fast and loose and aggressively. And they're going to get punished for it. How did they lose such a confident stance against a force buy?
Yeah, look, that's probably one of the poorest rounds I think we've seen from the Danes yet. The fact that, you know, they're finding so much control, so many rounds where it's the aggressive play out towards the outer bomb side, they slow it right down, they work out towards that sandwich and Olive and Hell position to find some openings. And from there, they, like, pretty much just dry run out from B. They're all running out from Heaven. No entries come out. It's just some really great pickings. And look at the buy. Look at the buy from Illuminar. 2 AWPs, 3 saved AKs. They're going to have full utility sets, kits across the board. You could not have asked for a better buy than this.
So little investment as well. That might be the jump start to the economy that Illuminar need to re-establish their dominance against the LYNGBY Vikings. The AKs, the double ops, as you mentioned. All coming in from the last round for no investment here in round 25. ILLUMINAR. 2 rounds in the lead against the LYNGBY side. And still with the pressure on that they're catching up. This round could be pivotal in ILLUMINAR's campaign on Train. LYNGBY Vikings, they could try to equalize on this one, but ILLUMINAR have the lead and therefore could have the map point if they're able to destroy the economy from here. Cabby going back out towards Sandwich. His play worked up particularly well. Doesn't see the player top of right. Trained. He does get Innocent down in the end. A bit of a pop out there towards Pop Dog will force the CTs to fall away. Cabby's on the ladder. Knocks in the end of Smoke, takes his fight and wins it for a second kill. 4 HP. He just stays alive. The nade can't catch him, but Roland does.
Oh my goodness, and I'll tell you what, for Cabby, like, he's had a bit of a quiet game, I would say, on Train, but he shows up in some insane moments. He clutches out and makes big rounds when needed. And Twinks, oh, that was the opportunity to try and catch off the com player. 3-on-3, Snacks is so up close and personal, and he's gonna get taken down.
Raul establishing the Ivy presence. They had no idea, they left it open. And the kill coming in again. Snacks, as you mentioned, leaves it at a 3-on-2. The bomb plant can be secured. 1 player at Pop Dog. I don't think he's down the ladder just yet. Rather than hoping for a slight pixel that he can use to get the kill, but no. Twinks shuts down Mouse. And ILLUMINAR will lose all 5 weapons. And back in this dilemma, do they go for a force buy here? Do they go for an eco? Do they go for a half bite? Dweg, what do you think?
I really hope they don't. I really hope they don't force this. I think it oh God, why? I don't like this. This is such a risky call to make after being a map down in the series on your own map pick. Now, if this doesn't work, the Danes would have so much confidence. They need to make sure this works. They need an opening pick. They need to be able to put some sort of advantage on the board to start the round off. And, well, they've used utility towards T-Con, and, well, for the CTs, they've just backed off.
They could potentially lose the lead if they cannot claim this round, and I have to say that I have to echo your sentiments of, oh God, why? When you saw that force fight coming in. One of the funnier elements of the night so far, but the CTs not finding anything funny about this T-Con presence and this control. Passive from LYNGBY. You can see Typos outside of the T-Con area. Aggression coming in elsewhere, but again, it's this passive default trying to establish some sort of setup and potentially find a pick back on the CTs over aggressing.
So slow. It's so damn slow. They're just waiting for an overextension, and this might be the answer. Snacks just jiggle peeking out. He's he was trying to get spammed down, and he actually takes down the Pop Dog player.
Cabby falling the AWP of Twinks. So close to landing a shot, a tag, a kill. Something against them. Snacks will be faced with the AK and get a 2K. Now making his way up the apartment, seeing no more T-side presence here on the B campaign. It's all to A as the execute comes through. They're rotating out 3 players in from Pop Dog. 1 top of green, and Snacks gets a 3rd frag, a 4th frag. Snacks feasting on LYNGBY Vikings, making an ace. No, Twinks drops 1, but that's as far as he goes. And that round is not attributed to ILLUMINAR. That round is attributed to Snacks.
That's honestly vintage Snacks right there. Vintage Snacks, rolling it back the years. What a round coming out from him. 4 insane kills. The jiggle peat to come out towards T-Con. He fights onto the Pop Dog player, and from there, he just lines him up. Does so much work with the AK-47 that he picks up. And, well, the question to the buy, it wasn't really about the buy. It was about Snacks.
And speaking of buys, LYNGBY Vikings are on a force buy. 2 pistols out for the T side. AK's Galil's in, trying their best to hold on to something. Spaggy makes his way out, and Snacks will keep his eyes on with the AWP to try and hold off against them. Rails and Cabby here. Smoke, is it about to clear? Will they find the AWP player? The flashbang in from Snacks might stall them for a moment. Pacing away from it, keeping him blind. Good shot for the first frag. Refaces for a second, doesn't quite connect it. But Mal still here with the M4, ready for Cabby to make his face up in towards white. Second kill, not going to come through against Typos. The bomb on his back, though, needs to fall back to a safe position and set up the 4v3 post plant.
Oh, they're going to start to get aggressive here, the T side, but unfortunately the kills just aren't coming through, and that bomb plan doesn't even go down. And Twinks is now in a 1-on-3. And he's going to continue the aggression. Innocent just around the corner, and already Twinks is so low, the HG is going to finish him off. 15-12, and they were desperate for a bomb plant. They were absolutely desperate. Because you look at the money now, they've got nothing. They've got absolutely no money to work with. It's going to be upgraded Deagles, maybe a scout on a glass cannon, but there's hardly anything to work with. And for ILLUMINAR, they're one round away.
And look at the buy from LYNGBY Vikings. The force in the last one led to this situation here. How do you do this if you are the T side? It seems like Typos wants to get aggressive, get tank those nades to the face, and Rollins shuts him down immediately out of T-Con. 5 on 4, 5 on 3. And Bird from Sky probably going to offer himself up to 2. It's Roland that gets Twinks instead. Looking back towards the dumpster area, they now have info on where the last 2 players are at now, where the last one is at, and this is over. This is 16-12. We go the full 3-map distance as Rolls tries to fight back for something, but any effort he throws up here is just, unless they're given the 1v1s, it's just going to be completely useless. There's going to be no contest for him, as ILLUMINAR have bomb site, or bomb control, I should say. Peek in. Wrong timing, Rolls. You get Mouse at least. Seeing that shoulder bait, he knows where he is. But either way, this is just, it's wasting too much time here. Facing against 2, 16-12, we're going to nuke.
We are indeed, Jay. Look, that wasn't the most convincing of maps coming out from ILLUMINAR, but those last, few rounds, handful of rounds at the end of Train was really where they looked like they were coming into their own. They looked like they were certainly hitting their shots. Rowland was coming alive. I think he had like 2 kills at like 18, 19 rounds. So he certainly picked up his game, was able to put up a good performance with that secondary AWP. And for the Danes, they're full of surprises, Jay.
They are. I'm honestly shocked. I did not expect us to be here right now. I did not expect us to see this level of performance from the LYNGBY Vikings camp. I thought this one was over. I thought this was going to be a single-digit sort of situation. You thought there were only 2 rounds on T side. I had no reason to disagree until they started doing that. So credit to LYNGBY Vikings. They're holding up a fight, but they haven't been able to go all the way here on Train. No 2-0 for them. It's going to have to be a 2-1 series, but to whose favor? Nuke is up next after this short break, so do not go anywhere. Afterwards, you find out who's going to be the first team out of group being into the playoffs here on Malta Vibes.
Nice shot. Lock and load. Wow, very good. Let me show you how it is done. Yeah, no. Damn! That was one of the best nickel fights I've been to.
Welcome back to Malta Vibes. Welcome back to our best of three between ILLUMINAR and LYNGBY Vikings. A best of three that shouldn't have gone this far, but it absolutely has. A close map on train, seeing ILLUMINAR take us to our third map of Nuke Dweg. I would ask for your opinions on this map and whether or not you think this is a good map for either side, but let's be real here. It doesn't matter at this point. Like, it's all down to who's going to edge out who at what point at what time. And while you could take some caveats of general sort of map statistics, I don't think any of that's going to matter here.
Yeah, no, look, I certainly agree with you there. The fact that LYNGBY Vikings are still in this best of three is already a huge feat for them. And going into Nuke, you know, they've put up some pretty good performances on train. That T side was looking pretty impressive. They, unfortunately, like, there's that one round where they force sport. If they lost that, then maybe they, you know, could have been on for a 2-0. So there were a lot of what ifs towards the back end of that last map in the series. But the fact is, they're playing really well. We're seeing some big individual rounds coming through. Cabby in particular, he's maybe not always the most consistent in, round out, but when he needs to clutch and when he needs a big performance, he seems to always be in the right position to do so.
Absolutely, and he's just been fantastic for me. Like, you know, I realize that there are players getting more frags and more impact in general when it comes to, like, you know, overall ratings like cast systems and, you know, what they'd say on HLTV rating. But for me, my MVP pick has got to go to Cabby just because of the number of multi-frags he was getting in key positions in the defensive. LYNGBY Vikings have come out swinging, and I think it's partially down to him and his other, you know, higher rated teammates that have been able to bring the thunder. It's been working so well for them so far, and here on Nuke, I'm not going to count them out at any point. You know, I think we've been caught flat-footed in that respect. Certainly, ILLUMINAR have been caught flat-footed because they weren't expecting this, and they could well be in that decider match in the lower bracket. To remind you, of course, the context of this one: winners at best of three. Therefore, the winner of this final map will move on to the playoffs. The loser has got to face up against the winner of the Gamer Legion versus Actina Pact side, who are currently right now playing on their third map. Also happens to be Nuke. Right now, 5-3 over on the CT board of Gamer Legion, having a good start in this one. So, yeah, it all comes up to our third and final match for today, Dwayne. I wonder if that'll end up being the same thing for the decider matchup. But for LYNGBY Vikings, even going that far is going to be a feat. Remember, these were guys that were getting eliminated last place every single group stage.
Yeah, look, they've certainly shown up today, and I'm not exactly sure, you know, what's different, but certainly, Jay, you know, we've seen that element of surprise, and they've been able to catch, you know, a lot of teams off guard, Pact in particular in that opening best of one, and for ILLUMINAR so far in these opening two maps of the best of three. Now, jumping into the knife round, I'm certainly with you. Like, I'm still putting ILLUMINAR as the favorites, and if they don't win it out, I would be heavily biased. But at the same time, if LYNGBY Vikings can pull off the unthinkable, you'd have to think it's got to be off to a good start on Nuke. They need that CT side.
And of course, we see who gets their choices. So I want to remind you, of course, that Malta Vibes is brought to you by Gaming Malta, a home of gaming excellence. ILLUMINAR will get their choice aside here, and I imagine that CT start will come through for them. It would be silly not to do so. And yes, indeed, they will go to the CT start in this one, Dweg. Now, I realize it's callous to ask this. I realize that it might probably not be as productive as we think it might be, but I'm going to do it anyway. Predictions, how do we feel?
Yeah, look, I mean, considering the results that we've had in Inferno and Train, I certainly think the double digits on the cards for the Danes, but I just don't see them being able to pull off a best-of-3 victory over a team like ILLUMINAR, especially with Nuke and being the last map of the series. So for me, I'm going to give them 10 rounds or more, but that's going to be it.
I'm on board for ILLUMINAR for this one. I just got to pick them. I've got to pick the polls. I think that they're just in the better spot overall. LYNGBY Vikings, I won't count them out, but for me, it's all ILLUMINAR to win at this best of three here on our final map of Nuke. It's the pistol round as the CT start already sees aggression coming in from LYNGBY Vikings. Seeing some very fast and very slow players. Bud from Sky getting Rallen with a knife kill to open up the map. That's a statement to rock the ILLUMINAR confidence. And then being driven out of the B bomb site, the bomb plant can be secured. It will be retake mode for ILLUMINAR.
Oh, great shot coming out with Typos taking Veggie down, and even for Mouse, he's quite low, but does at least turn it back into a 3-on-3, evens up the playing field. But for ILLUMINAR, they need to make sure that they're fighting these kills in. What a shot coming out from Snacks, and they do have a kit and a flashbang to work with. The trade kills are coming in for the CT side, but what can the Danes do?
Cabby's got to take a tap. Cabby's got to take them down. They peek in, and Riles gets the 2K instead. It's all left to Mouse. 16 HP. Great shooting from him, but no kit, no health, and a pistol going the way of the LYNGBY Vikings.
Okay, well, we started things off seeing a knife kill coming through. There's a 4-on-4 post plan to that B bomb side. The retake comes in, and well, unfortunately, for ILLUMINAR, they're just not able to keep going forward. And I'll tell you what, the odds, they never go the way of the LYNGBY. The Ling.
To be fair,
yeah.
To be fair,
go on.
To be fair, those are much closer than they were in maps 1 and 2.
That is a good point, though. Seems like they're getting closer and closer back.
Fast play out from LYNGBY Vikings, going to try to get closer to the CT side. Downstairs, in for the vent dive, out to the B bomb site. Veggie is going to get Cabby to open up the round here, but the plant can be secured, and ILLUMINAR going to have to rotate back over. There's positions out here towards Trophy Room and the ramp entrance. Veggie up. And now going down to Bird from Sky. So 4-on-4 situation as that AK kicks things off for the T side. Typos on 9 HP though. He should end up going down eventually as Rals takes face out here. Are they ready for him? Have they got their eyes on? They see him? They did. Facing in, the AK gets its spray, but now needs to get out of dodge. And in the end, it's Snacks taking that man down. So damage sustained by LYNGBY Vikings, but it looks like they will get their round out. 2 AKs recovered. Rather on site actually. Sprayed through, dropping him. Innocent gets twings. It's all left to Bird from Sky. Who's being tapped again, but that's a 3K for the T-side member. Snack's going to get out of dodge here with his AK-47 safe in this round. And ILLUMINAR, well, they don't quite get the victory in on the force buy, but they do get an AK to work with.
It's a great conversion coming out for the Danes, and well, that's really what they're looking for. Yeah, look, they give up an AK for Snacks to bring into the next round, but they're not giving up that round conversion loss, which we've seen time and time again in this best of 3, is both teams struggling with getting the pistol and following up in that secondary round up against the force buy. And rather than buying any kind of MAC-10s or SMGs or anything, Jade, they're quite happy to just go AKs for all of them and a single Galil up for Twinks.
Seeing what he can do with it, but most of the firepower resting in his teammates as the firepower of ILLUMINAR rests all in Snacks. And he's currently played out, I believe, over in the B position. Yeah, down to the halls. Rather than taking outside facing, nothing towards Mini. He's red though. Oh, the spray, the damage being done, and Bird from Sky will take him down. Don't know if they saw maybe his gun barrel there with the USP, or they just like predicted it well. Either way, it's an opening frag, and LYNGBY Vikings, they're expected to get these opening kills. They're expected to get the kills and force the issue on ILLUMINAR anyway.
And slowing it right down, they've got control out towards Secret. City's actually rotating into the lower bomb site, but this isn't going to be a lower play by the looks of things. They could wrap in through the hell position and make their way to upper through heaven. They've got a lot of options, and considering the playstyle from the Vikings, you've got to expect that a map like Nuke, especially on the T side, can allow some really kind of interesting and wacky kind of defaults, considering how slow and methodical they are. And look at the control they're finding.
Flashes from Cabby, gets out to the bomb site. Spray through from Typos, going to take face. Bird from Sky dropping the man. 5-on-3 situation. AKS Snacks. He gets him nicely timed. Looking on for another kill. No, Cabby will take him down. So Veggie with the 5-7 gets himself 2 more picks, but there's rolls to drop the man. So 2 players alive for LYNGBY Vikings. 3-0 for the T's. And now the buy-up coming in from ILLUMINAR.
Well, okay. Well, things are starting off on a pretty good stance coming out from the Vikings. Are looking pretty good on the T side, but now they've got to look through into the rifle round. That AWP going straight into the hands of Snacks. M4's to back him up. And you got to think for the T side, the outside presence is working really nicely. They've been able to get a lot of control outside, forcing the CTs back into some really awkward positions. And even starting things off, finally some damage being done to the T side. The nade, both players down to 51 points of health, but the opening kills, how has Typos found 2 on the entry?
Somehow, that's all the best answer I could give you. 5-on-3, and I think ILLUMINAR are already going to go for a safe call here. They're outside, they're out positioned, they're getting away from the A bomb site, and as Ralen falls, further faces from Bird from Sky will end up taking his own life. So 4-on-2 situation, Mouse and Snacks, last 2 players left, and ILLUMINAR 4-0 against them on the start. What a start from the Danes.
This is a lot of confidence, and it's the fast play outside. We see them wrap in outside through main to split into their upper bomb site, and Typos does so much work. He finds 2 incredible kills, and from there the round's over. Bird from Sky's lurking outside, and ILLUMINAR are set to save. 4-0 up. This is a phenomenal start, and you got to think for ILLUMINAR, maybe take a tactical. Maybe think, all right, guys, like, you know, we're starting to lose a little bit of control here. How can we regain it back? Because this is the CT side, and you've got to think, for a T side, maybe 6 rounds at most they'll be happy with. If they can push that even further forward, that's extra bonus.
LYNGBY Vikings already getting a mountain of work done here on their first half, and, you know, talking about the CT start, that was what they needed. To get this T side in for this one is already a fantastic way in for the Vikings. Out of control with flashbang. Snacks for the York waiting for first, and he catches Cabby, hearing those footsteps and just catching him at the edge of the smoke. Opening frag for ILLUMINAR, maybe their way into this one. It is only a 5-on-4 with a lack of weaponry for ILLUMINAR to utilize. It's just the AWP being the only rifle, and it may get contested at point blank range.
Ooh, Innocent's looking outside, and that would have been heard. Bird from Sky certainly would have heard those footsteps above him, and it all just comes down to timing here. Mouse has just got no idea that there's someone towards hell. Innocent does get a trade back, and so does Snacks with this AWP. They've got a couple of man advantages, and the pressure out through ramp, it keeps coming through.
And the Pistols have somehow managed to turn a 1-on-2 to their favor. Rolls the last player left, and they are rotating up to the A bomb site while keeping a simultaneous player over in observation on B. So whichever way he goes, he's going to have to face resistance from ILLUMINAR regardless. And the AK moves in, checks out Decon. He knows they've been here somewhere, keeping his eyes on the old toxic position. If he plants, here the double doors opening up. They're still closed. He can see that much. He has all the information he needs to work with, but it's just a case of isolating the pick and trying to force out the kill coming through. We'll stick it from Decon. Here the double door open now, looking on here in the vent dive also, so he knows where both of the CTs are at from here. Ralden facing up, rolls around the corner, takes the spray, does not get the kill for it, closes the doors as well. So they open up, 2 players to round this corner, ready for facing against the first headshot and seeing where Veggie is. But Veggie still gets the frag, and ILLUMINAR steal one back.
Oh, it's so down to the wire, and unfortunately, it's not possible. It's one of these rounds that really ILLUMINAR should not be able to have a chance of winning. And Snacks just does so much work. He's able to get a couple of nice picks out through ramp, get that huge advantage. And from there, ILLUMINAR, they just make sure they're playing together. It's a 2-on-1 advantage. They're peeking on each other's contact. Swing out from Veggie. He does get taken down low, but he's able to convert the first on the CT side. And, well, it's going to be a technical pause coming through. Okay. A moment to just take a bit of a breather, cool down a little bit.
Yeah, it's really there to be solving a technical issue, so hopefully we'll find out what that tech issue is soon. But very quickly over and done with, regardless of whether or not that, you know, whether or not it's fast enough to sort of break the pace. There are going to be a rifle round coming in for these 2 sides, and the question is whether LYNGBY Vikings can work off the back of the situation here. Got the AWPs in for Snacks and Twinks now. Where are they going to place them? One out to the hell position. Twinks is playing outside for the opening pick. Tried to get on top of the silo boost, but ended up falling out just to hold the outside control alongside Cabby, who's going to aggress so far with this. Gaps in that smoke towards the garage area, but really they're trying to smoke off the player up in heaven. And meanwhile, Rolls has gone down the vents, straight into the B bomb site. They have control. Snacks might not even be ready for this. Twinks is going to get Veggie down. Cabby's walked straight in against Innocent. 5-on-3 situation, favor to the LYNGBY Kings.
Oh, and look at this and Rouse. The positioning is just so perfect. The vent dive finally being successful. And what an instant response coming out. This has to be an instant save. Really, there's no way that ILLUMINAR... But how do they even save? Like, Snacks is locked in at this lower bomb site at the moment.
We saw a lot of this out on train as well. The aggression from LYNGBY Vikings somehow sneaking past ILLUMINAR Especially to that train sandwich position where, you know, they were able to just basically work off the back of just dismantling the A-site positions. They did the same thing here on Nuke, this time on the bomb site. Snacks. Okay. I don't know if he just didn't register or whether or not he's just letting him go. Is there a game plan here? Is there potential for a ninja? I mean, there's no smoke.
No kid either.
Yeah, that's not going to be easy, but I guess maybe saving the AWP is going to be his MO. Call that experience, call that just luck, whatever you want to say. It's a 5th on the board for the T side.
This is unbelievable. This is such a great start coming out for the Danes. They're looking impressive. They're showing the tactical depth on Nuke that their T side is really showing up in a massive amount. And you have a look at these guys on record again. For most maps in the map pool, they don't really have too many officials. I got a win against AGO about a month ago in an open qualifier. And only yesterday they got a 16-7 victory over Little Mix on this map. And fast play into the upper bomb side. Look at the aggression coming out for the T's straight away going for the vent dive.
Not even messing around with it. They know they've got 2 rifles. They know they're most likely going to be on an eco. The AK out here as Rolls expects aggression and shuts it all down. 2K to his name. Stacks with the AWP is not going to get a chance to face against him and take the man down. Bomb plant 5 on 3. And Twinks gets mouse to 2. So they have to save their AWP and their FAMAS. Twinks actually ready for roll and a tight angle to hold. And LYNGBY Vikings going to put themselves 5 rounds out from Illuminar's backline. Snap's going to get rolls. Are they going to fight for this? Are they going to try to take this player out? I think they might just do so. He faces, he hears footsteps. Oh, timing. Oh, he's been seen. He's been seen. Yeah, Cabby takes him down. There it is. ILLUMINAR now up for the buy in this one, but they're going to need a little bit more against LYNGBY Vikings. I am just as shocked here to see that these players are doing this well on T side.
It's incredible. It really is. And it's a big underdog story. Now, one thing that we haven't even really touched on at all in this matchup is that for the Vikings, they are currently running a 6-man roster. We saw Typos joining only 12 days ago, and Mansk normally comes in and out. Actually played with them, I believe, earlier today against that Nexus side, only earlier in the afternoon. So they're running a 6-man lineup at the moment, and it's kind of like interchangeable. But you've got to think, right, for LYNGBY, that for Twinks, Bird from Sky and Cabby, these guys have been on the lineup since 2018. Like, they have really been grinding, and they've only picked up the last 3 players this year. And I tell you what, maybe they haven't found success in the last couple of weeks of Malta vibes, but they certainly are going into week 4 in the winners match, 6-1 up on the T side of Nuke for the position to go into the playoffs for Group B.
And who would have thought you'd be saying that?
Yeah.
Who would have thought that this would even be a thought in someone's mind? And look at this, Cabby taking out 1, Vegi and Randu trade back, 2 for 1 all in all. And making it 3 as Randu gets his double and his triple. Bomb being dropped. It looks like finally the T's have met their match to a certain extent. Twinks trying to get out of dodge here, and the nades onto his position. He's a dead man. And the rush tactic from LYNGBY Vikings does get shut down. So 2 to ILLUMINAR's board, but money built up for the T's. They're going to rebuy.
And it almost seems like for LYNGBY, we saw it on train at least, that there's a lot of rounds where it's slow, it's methodical, it's successful, and then it's just an instant change-up where they go for something quick, and that's just a style of in-game leading where it's not reacting to what your opponents are doing and just continuously, achieving what's finding success, but just trying to have a little bit of a change-up in the strat book, and they might even try and go quickly again, maybe go for the vent dive. They've had a lot of success in doing so, but the nades, look how low Rails is at just 28 points.
And now ILLUMINAR are starting to get spooled up. You saw how many times they've gone, just quiet for a number of rounds before they find that one round that suddenly starts to look decent and then start looking good for the CT side. They can deny any further rounds from LYNGBY Vikings. They can sort of stem the bleeding from this CT camp because they've got that 6 that they would need for most T sides to set themselves up for a victory. they can get 7 on their board, then they'll be in an even better spot. And again, don't count them out for it, because ILLUMINAR, right here, they are playing slowly against the early damage they've done.
Oh, Snacks outside. Perfect positioning to deal with the wraparound in through main. Back to the passiveness, back to the slowness, and Snacks is able to actually find a secondary kill outside.
Mal's meanwhile looking in for a good kill on the ramp position. Gets Typos to drop the bomb, 5 versus 2. And Cabby's got to get reels out. Snacks at the swinging against him, so it's all left to this one player. On his flank lurk, 1 on 5. Out of decon door, as soon as he opens this up, he'll be known. The CTs can hunt him down. It may just be worth it to sit back here and save the AK. I think that's what he's thinking as well. Be 3 to the ILLUMINAR board. And probably not going to be a rebuy back from LYNGBY. It might be a half buy around the AK, but I don't see a full-fledged force up coming through.
Yeah, certainly not without a bomb plant. And Cabby just seeing if he can hold on to that AK. Yeah, it certainly is awkward, at least for Twinks and Typos. And just upgrading a few pistols here and there. Now they're going to take a tactical. And what was interesting in that last round, that I'm not sure if it's going to continue, it was just a bit of a change of position, but we actually saw Mouse taking the AWP out towards ramp and Snacks with the M4 outside. And certainly, you know, I mentioned it in the last map that Mouse was a primary AWPer only just last year. We've been playing on the Aristocracy and Devil 1 side with Taz and Co. It seems like, at least for this map, that Snacks is giving the AWP over to Mouse just in terms of the position that they're holding.
He's not being able to fraggle great with it here. He's one of 3 players on just 3 kills each. Mal's, Innocent, and Rarlan. We talked a little bit about how Rarlan was underwhelming in that last map, and just continuing that form here alongside 2 others that should be standout elements, but so far, ILLUMINAR in a bit of a slump here in this map up. If they get shut down by LYNGBY, then suddenly we're in a bit of an awkward stance, and some missed utility will not help that factor. Snacks can't suppress them out towards outside, but still they wait back behind this smoke and start to look for a way in. They have forced the issue, so the buy-up. We'll see the AKs, the Galils, and a Deagle in for Twinks.
And Rowland's now rotating to that lower position. That's actually a heaven smoke to come out from Typos. Try and go for potentially the upper take. But he's now rotating to Secret on the city side, so for LYNGBY, they're going to have to try and deal with Rowland.
Typos fuming utility down. They see... Do they not see him? Possibly not, but either way, out here against Rarlan, 2 picks not going to quite get found. He finds himself 1 kill, and they see 1 player out from Vents. Vega getting out of dodge as Rolls falls to Mouse now. Orc back in, seeing the second player couldn't land his flick. The bomb plant can be secured. As Innocent goes down, we stand at evens for the retake.
And even for Typos, he's lurking towards the upper bomb site, an overextension coming out from Twinks, and Cabby's got so much to do. They can just get on the bomb. They know where Typos is.
Getting the Molotov out to ensure he can't rotate back. He's got to face, though. He has to face to take control. Flashbang in. He's not going to go for it. He's lost. ILLUMINAR win their 4th. He can get an exit frag on Veggie at least, but it just took too long. If he flashed in, took the peek, and got back to observation, he may have been able to stay alive and get that kill, but as it stands, it'll be a 4th for ILLUMINAR and a force buy, which might cripple LYNGBY. Are they going to go for a buy up here? Actually, they're going to force it again.
Yeah.
They know that the economy's on the ropes for ILLUMINAR, so they're going to try and potluck this one.
Yeah, this is a bit of an unorthodox buy coming out from LYNGBY, but they certainly feel as if that they can reset the money line, get back onto the forward approach. And outside, even a bit of aggression coming out from the main player. Snack's going to be able to find the opener, and I tell you what, he's finding so much work outside.
2 simple kills coming in for him, and he's been one of the other elements that you want to stand up and say, listen, this guy's been amazing for ILLUMINAR. He absolutely has been, for my money. You know, one of the veterans of this roster and of course of the Polish scene, and he's clearly proven that he's still got it. M4 gets a 3rd pick on Rolls next up. Rarlan gets Typos, and Twinks is the lone man standing here. 1 on 5 for the man. The AK in his hands, but this will be a 5th for the CT camp.
And tell you what, things are starting to turn around a little bit, to say the least, for ILLUMINAR. The Twinks just, yeah, there's so many places to look, so many people around him. And this is going to be, what, 4 rounds in a row now up for the Polish side. And it seems like they've finally taken control. We've seen already, I think this is either the second or third tactical pause coming out from LYNGBY. There's certainly a lot to talk about at the moment and kind of figure out exactly what's going on, because I would say their biggest weakness at the moment is dealing with snacks outside. Whether it's in an eco round or a half buy or a gun round, he's finding a lot of work and he's finding a lot of success.
Well, LYNGBY with such a confident start, and it's all started to fall apart here. You mentioned that tactical pause coming through. And they're going to go for another force up. I don't think they should. Half buys at best. Speaking of buys, shout out to our partners in Hellcase. I mean, you can buy some cases and open up some 6 skins potentially. A couple of codes to make it a little bit cheaper for you. Malta V and Malta V15 for some free money and refill bonuses. Only at hellcase.com. Double flash and smoke for Bird from Sky here, and that's the utility basis for actually what was an eco round for LYNGBY. They're looking just to get the rifles out very early on here. Snacks is going to get rid of Cabby. Rolls will fall off the hut position. Snacks catching off Rolls. I thought he got caught off by his own teammate there, but either way, 1 on 5. Bomb's been dropped. Bird from Sky is at the end of the smoke. Might peek in. Probably actually going to look for a knife kill, which is going to boost the money line of the Vikings if he can get it, but held back to a corner at this stage. There's no real ways in for him. There it is. Snacks takes him down. Not even a single bullet landing. I think they burned one of the CT Molotovs, but 6-all on the board here.
You can see that Veggie was like looking at Snacks like, "Come, mate, like that was mine. What are you doing? What are you doing here, son?" But look, for ILLUMINAR, it doesn't really matter who gets the kills. It is who is getting the rounds. And now we're tied up at 6 rounds apiece. You've got a thing for LYNGBY. They need an answer. They need to get back into this game. You mentioned their good start that came through. It's slowly started to disappear now.
Absolutely. Like, it's all evened out now. They are in desperate need of some way back in. See the early damage from Bird from Sky out towards the secret position. Pushing up out towards the outside even further. He's got 1 player in garage to deal with. Takes a face in against Rarlan, but back turn to Snacks, and Snacks going to bait and switch, take him down. Look for a 2k, but Cabby will find the response trade. So 4 on 4 with Rarlan on 6 HP. That's an advantage for LYNGBY.
It certainly is. They've been able to do a massive amount of spam damage as Rarlan tries to go down through the vents to that lower bomb side. Honestly, it's going to be such a difficult hold for Rarlan because he needs to defend Secret, but at the same time, he can't overextend because he's so low. Low play outside once again for the T's. And this is an opportunity for them to try and split into the upper bomb site, especially with the lobby control coming out from Rouse.
Out towards Hell, he'll face him with the AWP. Veggie gets that 1 pick, drops that bomb. Cabby gets a trade. Mouse and Rarlan still alive and kicking though. And Rawls is the last player left. 1 on 3. Bomb out in the open. The CT on the site see it. Got Innocent to deal with back on A. And if he can get that pick, he may open up a chance. But the 2 towards outside are also to be dealt with. Turning away, back turn at the wrong moment. And that seems to be the story of the round there for LYNGBY Vikings. 7-6 for ILLUMINAR. Taking the lead now on CT side.
Looking very confident, looking very sharp individually. Yeah, look, we haven't seen the mass amount of kills coming through on some of these players from the ILLUMINAR side, but certainly Veggie and Snacks in particular are putting up some monster performances on CT. And for LYNGBY, need to see a bit of a change up here. Need to maybe see a bit of the aggression coming out once again rather than the passiveness. And look at Snacks. He wants to try and take the fight outside.
Getting aggressive, hearing all these footsteps. Do they know? They don't, but they check it anyway. Twinks will take Snacks. Rarlan falls to Cabby. A 5 on 3. Finally, an advantage for the T-Sub that they can work with here. Back up on to the positions. Damage done to Rawls and Twinks. So it's a chance for a couple of trades, but they're going to get passive and continue their campaign to the B bomb site where the vast minority of the CTs are currently placed.
And they know it has to be lower because Innocent's been able to at least check out lobby and see absolutely nothing. Even though they've got a lurker to this upper bomb side for the T's, ILLUMINAR have read this really well. It all just comes down to timing. Now, it kind of goes the other way too, because Bird from Sky is going to be able to clear this upper bomb side. And Innocent, oh, look at the position he's in. He's been able to do so much work. He spotted that bomb. He could ask for a bit of assistance.
Trade back from Typos, 3 on 2. Bird from Sky going to get Veggie on the heaven rotation, so it's all left to Mouse. He knows his player's up here, but he's just not going to be able to do much with it. Bomb plant to be secured, scope in, looking away at the wrong moment. Bird from Sky does not get the kill though. And the best Mouse can do is get the exit on this player. LYNGBY Vikings are going to keep this evened out, 7-all. And this is fantastic for the T side. You know, to get this 7th round, this was the crucial sort of hurdle in the way that you could well find your way in on the CTR. Takes that Bird from Sky as well, so damage being done to the T's, but he'll get out of dodge and just try and make sure he's keeping control.
And making sure that that AWP safely goes into the hands of Mouse going into the following round. Wants to keep hold of that. Maybe even try double AWPs if they want to upgrade it onto Snacks, if they're feeling a little bit cheeky. And go for something a little bit different. But LYNGBY, that round's really important for them. They lost a lot of momentum for, I would say, the late stages of this first half, and that one round, for me, it gives them the confidence to say, right, you know, we're still in this. We can still do this.
The double AWP's coming in from ILLUMINAR to try and shut that down. If they can get a CTR victory, then they would have done just about enough. But look at LYNGBY, straight out nades against him. Innocent gets that first kill. Bird from Sky can respond to a secondary pick back. Actually, Innocent got himself a HE kill on a TK, but Snacks is there with a 3K of his own to respond to the T-side line. Twinks left alone, 2 HP with 2 headshots to find. It's not going to happen. 4 massive frags from Snacks to close out the half to the favor of ILLUMINAR.
What was that position from Snacks? I've never seen anyone get into that position before. It seems like a little bit of a pixel walk from the railing position, and it's just a little bit further down from the rafters. But I mean, Snacks, just what a half. Like, honestly, the veteran player stepping up into what, getting 22, 23 kills at the end of that half, a ridiculous amount, an unbelievably ridiculous amount.
I think actually he's walking on the little piping you can see there.
Oh, okay. I've never seen that before. Something new. Ooh, that's not something new though.
What does it take to turn these odds to LYNGBY Vikings' favour?
What do they need?
They've literally, I would love to have seen what it would have been like in 6-1, but like, man, Lupe have faith in ILLUMINAR. I don't blame him. And if you do, you can let them know by taking advantage of 10 free CSGO spins and 100 euros on bonus deposits. As ILLUMINAR get to their T side, tap up from Typos will try force them back. Very quick pistol coming in, and Typos drops Veggie for a good kill. Now it's Cabby backed up, bomb plant from Mouse faked. Once faced in, Cabby's going to take him down away. 5-on-3 situation, ready for Roland next out. The Glock trades things, but still a man advantage for the CT side. Cabby getting a face up, and Roland knows he's there. USB shots. Snacks gets 2 on a face, and we're at 2-on-2 now for ILLUMINAR. Bomb getting picked up on the man he sees. Where Twinks is coming from, point blank face, gets a headshot for a 3K, and back up to the A side, leaving Bird from Sky on a retake.
And this is going to be an easy plan out towards that main entrance. Bird from Sky. Now, he does have the kit, but he needs to try and isolate some of these aim tools, and already they know exactly where he is. Snacks has done so much in the round so far, tapping away, and in the end, he's not quite going to get the quadra kill. It will be Innocent to chime into the action. But Snacks, 25 kills and 7 deaths. He is honestly, I would say, won just so many rounds for this ILLUMINAR side on Nuke.
Should be noted, that's 25 kills to add on to the 56 he's already had in this series so far.
Damn! That's insane.
He is just a monster right now. He is the demon of the LYNGBY Vikings side. And ILLUMINAR are going to benefit from it. But if they can isolate and take him down, then that might be the way back in for this CT side. LYNGBY currently having the scouts, the Deagles out, the SMG in for Cabby, so it's not the best of positions to hold. Nades up, a standard smokes down. ILLUMINAR very carefully prodding into the ramp position. They want to lean to the B-side play.
ILLUMINAR taking a bit of a page out of the strat book of the And LYNGBY Vikings taking it pretty slow and methodical, taking ramp control pretty easily, just leaving a single lurk of Veggie towards that lobby position to wait for any kind of an overextension, any kind of pressure. And they've got options. And they certainly can try and wrap around through hell, get up to the upper bomb site, but the smartest play probably to go lower considering the map control they've got. They just need to make sure that they're crossfiring with one another and trying to read where the stack is.
The plant be secured, 5 all. Out to the retake now for the CT camp. Hearing some footsteps from Veggie, realizing they're going to make their way out to the save.